This copyrighted recording is licensed by Major League Baseball. Any reproduction or other commercial use of this recording, in whole or in part, is prohibited.
That dates back about 20 years before it was over. We're about ready to go. On the mound is Nolan Ryan, and it's my pleasure to bring to you Jack Buck, who's going to call the play for you. Jack?
Well, there's one thing about it, Jerry. When Nolan Ryan goes to the mound, Houston may win, they may lose. But they've got a pitcher out there who has the potential of throwing a no-hitter at you, a one-hitter at you, or a shutout at you. He has that potential.
Well, he's got 4 no-hitters to his record and has struck out over 300 batters 3 or 4 years, and both of those are near records. The only man who is close to Nolan Ryan in those departments, Sandy Koufax, and he retired very young. Ryan also is the only pitcher who has struck out more batters than innings pitched, with the exception of Koufax, and of course the injury to Koufax's arm will keep him in that category for all time.
Nolan Ryan was 11 and 10 during the year, but he was double tough under the Astrodome.
8 and 2 isn't too bad, this ballpark, and we've mentioned it so many times before. This is a tough park to hit a home run. They hit them hard, they hit them high, they hit them wide, but rarely do they hit them out of here, and that really is the greatest defense that a pitcher has here in the Astrodome.
Well, here we go. The first man up is Pete Rose. Yesterday, when Lonnie Smith was in the lineup, they had him leading off. Today, it's Pete Rose. Boy, they hate him wherever he goes. Until he comes home, which these days is Philadelphia. And does he play the game to the hilt, and is he terrific? He certainly is. He's had 7 out of 17 in the 4 games played previously. He's up there batting left-handed against the fireballer Nolan Ryan. Cabell is in at third in front of the base. The outfield's around to the left, and here's the first pitch of the big game, and it's high, ball 1. It will be Rose, McBride, and Schmidt. Imagine these 2 clubs have played 4 games. There's been only 1 home run. That by Luzinski. Here's another one from Nolan Ryan, and it's a strike call in the outside corner. This crowd will be roaring from now until the time it's over. Every pitch, every out, so meaningful. Ryan will pace himself. He's not the rapid sort of hurler like Steve Carlton is, or like Bob Gibson used to be. He goes into the windup, and his pitch is low for a ball. Ryan has a great fastball, as everybody knows. Also a devastating curveball, and when he gets that over, well, that's when he pitches those low-hit ball games. But he's like anybody else. If he can't get the breaking ball over, they'll hit that fastball no matter how hard he throws it. He's behind on the count. The pitch is made, and Rose takes it high.
The book on Ryan, Jack, you have to get him early. If he settles down and gets past that trip for 6th inning, he is a very difficult man to get out of a ball game. So they're going to have to get to him quick if they're going to do anything at all.
It's a 3-1 count on the leadoff man in the ball game. The pitch is coming, and it's a strike call over the outside corner. Luis Pujols is behind the plate despite the foot injury of yesterday. Cabell at third, now dropped deep. Reynolds is playing short. Morgan second. First baseman is Art Howe. Cruz in left near the line. Poole in center field, and Dennis Walling playing right field. Rose leading off in the game, and the 3-2 pitch is on the way. Strike call on the outside corner. Rose walks away off the plate, looking back at the umpire, saying little, a grin on his face now. He's out.
That ball kept sailing away from Peter. He questioned whether or not it got the outside part of the plate. Vargo says yes, Rose says no, and Rose just walked away with that grin on his face as if to say, hey, man, you missed that one.
This broadcast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the description and account of this consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Swing and a miss by Bake McBride, the right fielder who is batting second. He's had 5 hits in the 4 previous games. The outfield is a bit to the right, and McBride takes it inside and low. A ball and a strike. The Phillies won 3-1. Houston came back and won an extra inning 7-4. Won another extra inning game 1-0. They had a shot to win it all yesterday. But Philadelphia came back in extra innings to win it 5-3 and set up this contest. Rose is struck out. McBride is the batter with a 1-1 count, and Mike Schmidt is on deck. The Husky right-hander from Alvin, Texas, goes to work, and Nolan Ryan brings it. Swing and a miss. Good right side. He is humping today. No need for any of the ball players here today to reach back for extra adrenaline. It's running as fast as it can run. Lee Elia coaching at third. Ruben Amaro at first. The pitch to McBride. Fly ball into left center field. High in the air for Cruz. He's there, and that's a 2-out. And every time Jose Cruz does something, the crowd starts to yell Cruz. It sounds like they're booing him, but he's one of their favorites. There are 2 out. The batter is Mike Schmidt, 5 out of 19 thus far. I try to be a friend of the umpires whenever I broadcast and give them the benefit of the doubt, but they sure had a tough session here yesterday.
Tough day for the umpires, Jack, and the managers. A lot of decisions to make.
With 2 men out, Schmidt took a half swing, held up, ball 1. Ed Fargo, the man in blue. Doug Harvey, who umpired behind the plate yesterday, is out on the right field foul line. Probably happy to be there today.
I would think so. He's out of the line of fire, at least.
Rose struck out. McBride flied out. Ball 1 the count to Mike Schmidt. They play him deep to the left. Cruz almost to the track in left. Next pitch coming. Swinging a high pop fly to the right side. It's going to be caught by Art Howe in front of his dugout. Foul ball. He has it. Down go the Phillies, and at the end of 1/2 inning, Phillies nothing, Houston coming to bat.
It's a good day. You like your job. You cooked a good dinner. And now you're all set to enjoy it.
Just underway here at the Astrodome, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Houston Astros. It's the final game, the showdown game of the National League Championship Series. Marty Bystrom, a youngster, 22 years old. He turned 22 this year. Went 5-0 after having been called up for the minor leagues, and he is getting the start of his life. Bystrom will be facing Terry Poole, Enos Capel, and Joe Morgan, the top 3 hitters for the Phillies. And we noticed that Nolan Ryan in that first inning, although you don't have to exhort him to greater heights, he looked to me like he was going to go as long and as far as he could, throw every pitch as hard as he could, and then wait for somebody to come in if they needed help. But right now, let's check Marty Bystrom through Jack Buck, who'll be calling it for you.
Well, Bystrom was 5-0 for the Phillies after coming up from Oklahoma City, where he had a record of 6-5. Bystrom beat the Cubs twice, the Mets twice, the Cardinals once. Won his first 20 innings in the National League without giving up an earned run. He's a fastball, slider, and curveball pitcher, Jerry, and he uses that curveball as an off-speed pitch. I know that you haven't seen him before. I've seen him work twice. He's a very impressive-looking hurler, a big kid. And the Houston players who have never batted against him were asking me about him before the game. He used to have a problem of holding runners close, and they just used to run rampant on the bases. But he's changed his pitching style, and he's getting the breaking ball over, and that's what made him a winner.
There's one great thing that he has, Jack. He is long and lean. He's 6'5". When he lets the ball go, he's practically on top of the plate. A tremendous advantage for a pitcher.
He was born in Coral Gables, Florida, lives in Miami. And they gave him the ball. They could have given it to Dick Ruthven. But Dallas Green, the Philadelphia manager, elected to go with this kid who will face Terry Poole, to lead it off. Youngster from Melville, Saskatchewan, Canada. A left-handed batter. Here's the first pitch in the bottom of the first. He was going to bunt and took a ball high. It'll be Poole, Cabell, and Morgan. Boone is behind the plate with Schmidt, Boa, Trio, and Rose on the infield. Luzinski in left, Maddox in center, and McBride in right. The Bills went down in order in the opening inning. And we're in the bottom half of the first. Here's the pitch. Poole looks at it outside. Terry Poole drove in the tying run in the ninth inning, sent this game into extra innings, and Philadelphia won it. 5-3. It's all on the line here. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike call at the knees. Weisstrom to the rosin bag briefly. Goes to work. Here it comes. Swing on a line drive into left. A hit for Terry Poole. That's the way he hits. He slashes the ball all over. And he socks it in the left for a leadoff single.
Jack, an interesting story about Weisstrom. He was sitting on the bench prior to the ball game while we were collecting some interviews to utilize before and during the game. And I said, Marty, can I get a 15-second answer out of you? And he said, gee, I'd rather not. He was a little bit tense down there.
The batter is Enos Cabell. Poole is a very good base runner. Cabell is a good hit and run man. They give him left center. He's a right-handed bat. Poole is now 7 out of 14 in these playoffs. And he grabs the lead. Rolls falls against him. There's hitting room over there. There's a throw over there, and the runner is back. Steve Rose rubbed the baseball up a bit. Walks to the mound. Some encouragement to the young pitcher, Marty Weisstrom. Throw to first base, the runner back. Weisstrom is only 22 years old. Another throw over there, and that one was pretty close. He had to really work hard on his pickoff move. Made a huge difference in his pitching effectiveness. Marty Weisstrom, D-Y-S-T-R-O-M. Greeted with a base hit by Poole. The pitch to Cabell. They pitch out, but nothing happening. Ball one.
Jack, he's got a pretty good move to first base, and that kick isn't that high that it's going to give Boone all that much trouble, although Houston does have speed. Weisstrom should be able to control him with the move that he has.
John Leopard coaches at third. Bob Lillis at first for the home club. Philadelphia won 9 out of 12 during the regular season from Houston, including 4 out of 6 here. There's another throw to first, and the runner gets back. I guess Weisstrom is demonstrating to the Houston club that he's not going to forget about the base runners and that he does indeed have a good move. The pitch to Cabell is a breaking ball high. Fargo started to punch up the right hand and then held back ball two. This game will tell it all. And the Kansas City Royals are standing by, wondering whether they're going to work out here tomorrow evening at 7 or at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia tomorrow afternoon at 2. The pitch inside, and it almost hits Cabell. It's ball free. 3-0.
Jack, a couple of things are happening here. With Poole at first base, he can run very well. Weisstrom is aware of that. He's concentrating on Poole and the plate at the same time, so he's splitting his concentration. The one thing he can't afford to do is to go into a wild streak here early because he can get himself out of the game quickly, so he's got to come back.
Here's the pitch on the way to Cabell. Strike called. Frequently in a game like this, no matter what the manager thinks of his starting pitcher, he'll have yet another pitcher warming up in the bullpen, but that's not the case this afternoon. 3-1 to Cabell, and it would be surprising if Houston doesn't start the runner, because that's the way they play the game. 3-1 to Enos Cabell. Poole on at first. Nobody out. The runner going. The pitch, swing, and a fly ball into right center. High in the air for Maddox. He wants it. The runner will get back. Now McBride moves in front, makes the catch, 1 out. So Weisstrom came back and got him. And the batter is Joe Morgan, who's had 2 hits in this playoff series. Left-handed batter against the right-handed Weisstrom. And Morgan is still hobbled with a bad knee.
No question about it. He won't tell anybody, but that knee is aggravated, and it continues to be aggravated. That may be a very big out for Marty Brightstrom. He had to get somebody, and getting that first one is the toughest.
1 on, 1 out. Time called by the plate umpire. During the second inning, we'll give you all of the football scores that we have. Here's the pitch to Morgan, a strike called on the outside corner. Having seen Bystrom work before, Jerry, I know that he's just not intent on throwing strikes. He works the corners. He doesn't groove very much.
As hard as he's throwing it with that breaking ball, it will not be a happy thought for the Houston hitters.
Throw over to first base, and Terry Poole gets back. Phillies one down in order. Here in the Houston first. Poole singles. Cabell flied out. Morgan takes it high. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was the off-speed pitch. No matter who wins here today, the World Series will start Tuesday night, either here in Houston or in Philadelphia. At 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS Radio, the runner going. The pitch is low. The throw is late. Ball on base for Terry Poole. Bystrom is very persistent in throwing over there. Nonetheless, Poole swipes the base. He's at second with 1 out.
Poole went in there just ahead of the tag by Boyd. He got an excellent jump. He timed Bystrom exactly right.
Now Morgan and Cruz will have a chance of getting the runner home. Jose Cruz is in the driver's seat in this ballgame. He's got a right-handed batter. He's a big right-handed pitcher. He's a big RBI man. He waits on deck. Morgan took a strike on the inside edge. 2-2. There's a case of Bystrom throwing the breaking ball while behind in the count.
If you can do that, Jack, you know you can win in the big leagues. If you can throw the curve on count of 2-0, 3-1, even 3-2, you've got a chance to win big.
Poole on its second, 1 out. No score first inning. 2-2 pitch to Morgan on the way, and Joe swings and a high fly ball to center. That's the wrong place to hit it. Maddox is there. The runner tags at second. There's the catch. Poole comes to third safely. He's there with 2 outs. Here's Jose Cruz, who goes at 91 runs for Houston this year.
Cruz has a remarkable record with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He has been the best clutch hitter by far for Houston in 1980. They'd like to see a pop right here.
One of the big reasons why he's such a difficult out is that even though he has some power, he hit 11 home runs during the season. In this ballpark, he's not interested in hitting it out. They play him to hit the left, in fact, and he does spray the ball around. He'll wrap it into left and hit it up the middle. Poole's at third, 2 out. The pitch to Jose Cruz. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Cruz was thinking home run that day. No score, first inning. Terry Poole at third base. Coming down the line a bit, trying to bother the Philadelphia hurler. Bystrom looks in and gets the sign, looks at third, goes into the windup. The pitch, Cruz took it high. It's the ball, 1-1. Kansas City has been standing idly by. They've been working out, of course, but they beat the Yankees 7-2, 3-2, 4-2, and they await the winner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cruz. The runner at third, 2 off. First inning, no score. The pitch is a strike called, an off-speed pitch. Cruz out in front, had to take it. He's in the hole, 1-2.
You know, many people thought that when Kansas City got so far ahead in their division and they went in the tank the last month of the year or so, that they might not come back against the Yankees. But that sort of slowed down pace didn't bother them at all. They went through the Yankees like gangbusters.
Bystrom has Cruz set up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looks at third, kicks and fires, and the ground foul rolling back. Gets the ball twice in back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul the ball and hit it with a backswing. World Series will commence next Tuesday. They'll play Tuesday and Wednesday in the National League Park and go to Kansas City next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then return to the National League Park if necessary. 1 ball, 2 strikes. strikes, the count on Cruz. Poole at third, 2 outs. First inning, no score. Next pitch. Inside, off the plate, 2-2. When asked to name their starter in the World Series, both managers said it depends on who works today because they'll use anybody and everybody. Cruz with 2 outs. Swings and fouls it back. He was trying to go to left with that one.
Jose will do that. One of the things that I like about Bystrom, having never seen him before, he has a better fastball than people realize. He's got a good curve, but the fastball has a jump to it. Today they call it velocity. In the old days they just called it a fastball.
Talking to Keith Moreland, who catches him occasionally, he said it does have a little to it right at the end. It'll take off. It really isn't a sinker ball. If he wants the ball to sink, he'll throw the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes to Cruz with a runner at third. A line drive base hit into right. Houston leads 1-0. Cruz will go for 2. McBride throw into second base is too late. 1-0 Houston.
Bystrom let a low slider get away from him and threw it right in about 6 inches above the knees. Cruz was waiting for it and popped it right down the line in right field.
The stolen base paid off for Houston because Terry Poole would not have scored from first base on that double. But he walked home from third with the first run of the game, and that's Houston on a 2-out hit. They steal a base. They move the runners. The batter is Dennis Walling. He could drive in a run, and he hits it hard. Trio makes a backhand stop and throw. Gets him, and the inning is over. Manny Trio had to be sure-handed on that one. Made a backhand stop and took a hit away from Walling, and the inning is over. Houston breaks on top. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. After 1 inning, 1-0 Houston.
The home team, the Houston Astros, have broken from the gate in a hurry here. In the bottom of the first inning, a single by Terry Poole. He stole second, went to third on a fly ball by Joe Morgan. And a 2-out double by Jose Cruz brought him across. Cruz almost got in when Dennis Walling hit a hard shot to the second baseman, Manny Trio, who backhanded it and got him on a nice play. So we've gone through 1 inning of play. Houston leading Philadelphia 1-0, and here comes the man who's done most of the damage for Philadelphia in their 2 victorious games, Greg Luzinski. Jack Buck standing by, and it's all yours.
Thank you, Jerry. You know, in the second game at Philadelphia, which Houston won 7-4, Jose Cruz drove home a tying run in the 8th inning and snapped the die in the 10th inning. So he's been very much in the hair of the Philadelphia Phillies. They'll send up Greg Luzinski. He's had 1 homer, 3 RBIs in this playoff series. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Nolan Ryan. Ball 1 low. Sometimes you give a fellow like Nolan Ryan 1 run, and that's all he needs. Ball 1 to big Greg Luzinski. They play him to pull. The pitch is made. It's swinging him in. 1-1. Mid-low breaking ball. A ball and a strike. Luzinski, Trio, and Maddox, all right-handed batters, will be up here against Nolan Ryan. They do not have their lineup stacked with left-handed hitters against him. And the pitch is downstairs. Ball 2. Rose, McBride, and Boa will be the only left-handed hitters against Nolan Ryan. And by the way, when it comes time for Bystrom to hit, he can swing the bat. Ryan brings it home to Luzinski. Swing and a miss and a bad ball in the dirt. Now the way he went around, yes he did. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scoreboard had popped up ball 3, but the plate umpire, Ed Vargo, asked the first base umpire, Jerry Crawford, did he swing? The answer was yes, and the count's 2-2 on the leadoff man. Second inning, 1-0 Houston. In the big one. 2-2 pitch from Ryan. Foul back to the right, not a play. Luzinski took an inside-out swing at that one. And would have hit it to right field had he hit it fair. Big Greg wears glasses while he bats. Had 19 home runs during the season. Took a strike. Thrown out on a fastball. He was caught looking. Second strikeout for Nolan Ryan. Mr. Ryan said here, hit it, but he kept it away from the big guy.
An impressive pitcher when he's right. And down here behind the left field fence, they have a series of Ks that they put out. Every time Ryan strikes out somebody, they flash a K up there. They've got 2 on the screen now. Let's see how many they get before the day's out.
Manny Trio, the batter, hitting .292, not usually susceptible to strikeout pitchers. He'll hit the ball ordinarily. Took an eye, ball 1. Right-handed batter, and as we pointed out during this entire playoff campaign, the one big item that Philadelphia lacks in their batting order is a prolific number 5 hitter. There's a line drive base hit into right center. The pitch was up, and Trio slammed it into right center for the first. Philadelphia hit, and there goes the no-hitter.
Yep, he's not going to get number 5. You know, Ryan is a very easy man for a manager to handle from the standpoint of knowing when it's going, because when he stops striking out people, you can pretty much know that fastball has lost about 6 inches. So you can get a pretty good indication as we go along as to whether or not those strikeouts just continue to come, and then you know, hey, he might be losing a little bit.
$1 million a year man will now pitch to Gary Maddox. 1 on, 1 out. A check on the runner. Ryan delivers, and Gary Maddox takes it high. Ball 1 with a curveball.
I think he could spend $1 million in a year, Jack. I mean, you might be able to, but I mean, most people, I don't know.
Well, Uncle Sam will get a big chunk of it, I'll tell you that. I'd like to give it a whirl.
Oh, boy. That'd be nice.
1 on, 1 out. Here is the pitch. A throw to first and the runner back.
Might mention here, too, that Nolan Ryan has a big kick. If you time him, once he comes to a set position and doesn't throw to first, you can take off on him and run pretty good.
They do a little running with Nolan Ryan. Tough to hit and run against him, though, because he'll throw the ball past the hitter frequently. Maddox is the batter. The pitch is high again. Ball 2. Houston leads 1-0.
Jack, I'm glad you brought that up, because Ryan is a very difficult man to execute against. Hit and run, bunts. He's so erratic and has such a fastball that to do anything, you never know when he's going to throw it behind the hitter.
Ryan's been in this mill before. Checks the runner, not going. The pitch. Ball 3 inside to Gary Maddox. This is the 3rd time the playoff series has gone to 5 games. It happened in '72 when the Reds beat the Pirates. It happened in '73 when the Mets beat the Reds. Runner at first, 1 out. Ball 4 to Maddox, and there are 2 on with 1 out. A single by Trio, a walk to Maddox. The first walk of this ball game, and Larry Boa is the batter. The little fella is the switch hitter, a left-handed batter, and frequently he'll get a base hit. You still won't get the runner home from second because of the position which the outfield plays. To counteract that, Boa will try to pull the ball occasionally, but against Ryan, I doubt that he'll pull it.
They've got that outfield well over to the left side. Cruz is off the line by about 30 feet, and left center, Terry Poole. On the right fielder, Denny Walling is almost playing towards center field. They give Boa about 110 feet of that right field line.
He waits, here it comes, and it's a ball high. And Nolan Ryan has hit a little wild streak here. Boa hasn't been able to drive in any runs. He waits. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch, strike call. Not an RBI man. During the season, he drove in 39. He can run, can handle a bat, won't strike out very often, frequently is among the top 10 most difficult to strike out. With 2 men on and 1 out, he swings and fouls it out of play. He's in the hole, 1 and 2, and Bob Boone waits to bat next for the Bills. 1-0. Houston scored a run in their first inning. A base hit by Poole. He stole second, advanced to third on a fly ball, and scored on a 2-out double by Jose Cruz. Bills, who went down in order in the opening inning, have 2 on and 1 out here. After Luzinski struck out, Trio singled and Maddox walked. Boa is in the hole. He waits. Here it is. Swinging a ground ball back to Nolan Ryan. He boots it, picks it up, throws to first for the out. Missed the double play ball by bobbling the ball, and the runners end up at second and third with 2 out. They may walk Boone and pitch to Bystrom, and they may get a surprise.
With Nolan Ryan, I'm not so sure they're going to try it. He does run to periods of wildness. He walked 98 men in about 233 innings. That's a lot of base on balls, and you have to have a very strong arm to overcome it and come up with a winning record. So if they do walk Boone, there's always a possibility that Bystrom could draw a walk and bring a run in. Let's see how they handle it. Boone, incidentally, has not had a big year with the average.
Boone 2 out of 15 in this playoff series. And no runs batted in this series. Batted 229 during the year. Infield back. They're going to pitch to him. Runners on at second and third, 2 out the pitch. Strike called in the inside corner. And Ryan gets ahead as he tries to protect his 1-0 lead. Trio, the runner at third base. Maddox at second. They both can run. Ryan stands on, looks in, gets the sign from Poole. Goes into the full windup, and here it comes. Swing on a line drive, base hit to center. The Bills will take the lead. Maddox follows Trio home, and it's 2-1 Philadelphia. A high pitch, and Boone hammered it into center field to drive in his first runs of the playoff series.
Jack, that may be an indication of what's going on out there. Ryan, generally, when he gets the ball up, is almost unhittable. It really has a sharp pop to it. Trio got a high fastball, drilled it to center field, and now Boone got a high fastball and drilled it to center field.
So 2 runs on 2 hits with the help of a walk. And when Nolan Ryan messed up the double play ball hit by Boa back to the mound, it set that up. And the Phillies have scored twice. Bystrom, with 2 men out, takes ball 1. He throws right, bats right. Not only does that base hit by Boone give Philadelphia 2 runs, it allows Bystrom to bat here. Even if he makes an out, Rose will be leading off in the third. The Phillies lead 2-1. Here's the pitch. Bystrom takes it high. Ball 2. Fans here getting restless, and now they stir in the Houston dugout. We're going to have someone down there in the bullpen. Ken Porsche goes down there to warm up. No tomorrow. There will be a Tuesday for one of these clubs. There's a strike called, and it's 2-1. Kansas City has already announced that Larry Gura will pitch the first game of the series. An 18-game winner with a win over the Yankees in the playoffs. And Dennis Leonard will work the second game, a 20-game winner. He also beat the Yankees. Bystrom swings and fouls it back, 2-2. Well, looking back, they'd have been a lot better off to walk Boone and pitch to this fellow, wouldn't they?
Jack, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people talk about that. On the other hand, I'm sure manager Bill Burton, and I think he played it accurately, was afraid of a base on balls with the bases loaded.
Runner on at first is Boone with 2 men out. His first RBIs in this series. And here's a bouncing ball to short. Fielded by Reynolds. He steps on the base for the force out. And the inning is over. But Philadelphia takes the lead. 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 left. And after an inning and a half, the Bills 2 and the Astros 1. Detroit defeated New Orleans 24-13. Art Howe leads off. First pitch. Strike call for Marty Bystrom. The Lions 24, New Orleans 13. The Jets beat Atlanta 14-7. And it was Oakland over San Diego 38-24. Tomorrow night, the Redskins at Denver. Strike call to Howe again. And you'll hear that game with Washington at the Mile High Stadium at 8:50 Eastern Time on CBS Radio. Dick Stockton will start things off. Hank Stram and I with the story of the game. And Brent Musburger at halftime. Now has had one hit in this playoff series. He bats against Marty Bystrom. The pitch inside off the plate. He's popping that ball. 1-2.
Jack, I thought you got every Monday off. I don't know you're going to do.
You ought to tune in.
I'll be there in spirit.
Now Pujols and Reynolds here in the second for Houston. The Phillies lead 2-1. Here is the pitch. Broken bat pop fly to the second baseman. It's going to be caught. The business end of the bat flew into the stands. Trio caught the ball. The bat flew into the stands. That is the top half of the bat. And hopefully everybody is all right down there. Really difficult to get out of the way of that spinning wood. But evidently no one was injured. And that's good. That's a fact. No one was hurt. The matter is, Luis Pujols, the catcher, a right-handed batter. He'll hit against Bystrom now. But there's this Bystrom. He's a gritty young kid. He came along, posted a 5-0 record, was the pitcher of the month in the National League. He's facing the Houston club for the first time. The plate umpire Vargo tells him to move the rosin bag behind the pitching rubber. Bystrom stands on and will pitch to the Houston catcher. Houston got a run in the first. The Bills got 2 in the second. Here it comes at a change-up curve, a swing and a miss, strike 1.
Some little memorabilia for you folks out there. If you're not aware of it, the rosin must be on the back slope of the mound. You can't have it in front of the rubber, and that's what Ed Vargo, the plate umpire, did.
Pujols has had 1 out of 9. Here is a pitch low for a ball. Pujols was injured late in the game yesterday, and Bruce Bochy had to come in. He tried to field a short hop throw and tag Steve Rose. He missed the ball. Rose unloaded on him and scored the go-ahead run in the 10th inning. Here's the pitch coming. Pujols jumps back, and it's a ball. 2-1. Some people have said, Jerry, that the catcher should have gone up the line and caught the ball. And the catchers that I've talked to said that's nonsense. You can't do it. Now the pitch is downstairs. Ball 3. 1 out. Pujols the batter. Reynolds next. One thing about the Houston club, they don't score an awful lot of runs. And when they get behind, even sometimes by only a run, it's tough for them to get it back. They really have to manufacture their runs. Ball 4. Bystrom, this is a 1-out walk. Reynolds is the batter looking for his first hit in this playoff series. One on, 1 out. And Pujols is not a threat to run. Is out there pitching, was placed on the roster with the ruling by the commissioner in place of Nino Espinosa, who came up with an injury, shoulder problem. Ball 1 low to Reynolds. Reynolds a light hitter at 226 average during the regular season and looking for his first hit in the playoffs. 2-1, the Phillies lead. Tying run on base for Houston. 1 out. Philly right-hander is set. Pitches. Swing on a line drive. It's there. Down into the right field corner. Pujols is headed for third, and he will score. They bring him home. Reynolds is going for third. The throw home. He is out. Pujols with that bad ankle was thrown out on a perfect relay throw by Trio. Reynolds ends up at third with 2 outs. Well, we can't discount the great relay from Bake McBride to Manny Trio, but Bob Boone made the play. He handled it like a shortstop. He stuck out that catcher's glove, caught the ball in the air, laid the tag on Pujols in one fell sweep, and that cost Houston a run. What a play by Bob Boone. He's the guy who made it. He had the plate. walked off enough so that Pujols had to hit the dirt well in front of the plate, and that allowed Boone to make the sweeping tag, and the Phillies dodged the bullet. Reynolds was already to third base when Pujols was out at the plate. So it's a double. And the batter is the pitcher, Nolan Ryan. He'll try to tie it up with a hit. Swing and a bouncing ball to short. For a big hop. There's the throw. He's out. The Phillies still have the lead. Well, a walk, a double, and the man out at the plate. Jake McBride was waiting for that rebound out there, and it took an unexpected angle, and he had to chase it back to the track. I thought for sure the Pujols would get home, but the Phillies gunned him down. And in the Houston second, no run. We've had an exciting game already. One hit, a walk, one left. Two left for Houston. And after 2 innings, Philadelphia 2, Houston 1.
If you're an old-timer in this game, you've heard the name Branch Rickey, and the one thing that he always maintained was you could not manufacture speed, and Luis Pujols was a prime example there. Anybody with any kind of speed would have scored with ease, but the fact that Pujols couldn't run, had a bad ankle, it cost Houston a big one.
He's the only man in their lineup who can't run, Jerry, and I know that during the play-by-play I said he will score, but that was a championship relay.
Outstanding, and the play by Boone was really something. I mean, he put that ball on him with one hand, almost like an infielder. It was incredible. The relay was great all the way down, up and down the line, but give Boone credit for a tag you may not see in many moons. Okay, Jack, we go into the third inning. That's where we are.
Houston has 3 hits, the Phillies 2, but the Phillies lead 2-1. Rose called on strikes his first time is up there. Cabell shortens up at third, and Howe does the same thing at first. Rose hitting left-handed against Nolan Ryan. First pitch to Pete. Swinging on the line drive, fair past the third baseman and the left for a base hit. Guarding against the bunt, Cabell had Rose whistle the ball right by him.
Jack, I'm beginning to get a very strong feeling here that Nolan Ryan doesn't have that good top to his fastball. And there goes the bullpen once again. Ryan, who is throwing hard, doesn't have the velocity in the ball. It's not jumping. It looks as though manager Bill Burton is sensing that too and may get him out of there if there's any further damage.
Hits are even now at 3 apiece. And Rose is on as the leadoff man. The first time the Phils have had their leadoff man on, and the tough to double Jake McBride is at the plate. Fly to left his first time. Strike call. And a spot like this, McBride, who swings down on the ball, frequently will chop it into the turf and give you all kinds of problems. Nolan Ryan gets ahead. Rose takes the lead. Howe holds against him. There goes the runner. The pitch swung on him, fouled out of play. So ahead in the game, 2-1. The Phillies put on their track shoes.
You talked about Jake McBride hitting down on the ball. AstroTurf was made for this guy. He's got big speed, a left-hand hitter. All he has to do frequently is chop the ball on the ground. He'll take that giant kangaroo hop on the second one, and he's off.
Well, for you athletes around the country and those tuned in on American Forces Radio, this is where it all started. This is where they first put the AstroTurf down. And a lot of people have been moaning and groaning about it ever since. Pitchers mostly. Runner on at first with nobody out. The pitch. McBride took it high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And it certainly, talking about the AstroTurf, has changed the game of baseball. Lee Elia coaching at third. Ruben Amaro at first for the Phillies. Rose the batter. McBride at the plate. Smith waiting to bat next. Phillies leading 2-1. Third inning. Next pitch. Swing and a foul. Out of play to the left. A little leaguer could swing the bat that Jake McBride uses.
31 inches, 31 ounces, holds it on the end. He's a big, long, lean athlete, about 6'3", and possibly uses one of the shortest and maybe the lightest bat in all of baseball. It's something that he can whip around, gets good control with it.
He had a fine season with the Phillies, driving in 87 runs, and he bats in that number 2 spot most of the time. He took it upstairs. The ball, 2-2. Jake batted .309, 9 homers, 87 runs batted in, and he's had 5 hits in in this playoff against Houston. Now the runner will likely go. That's Rose on at first with nobody out. The left-handed batter McBride waits. Pete takes the lead, short lead, not going. Swing and a tap foul, bounced up and whacked McBride on the shoulder. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network. Coleman, Nolan Ryan has 2 strikeouts here early in the game, but I think he's lacking a little in velocity, as you say, to the point where I think you can afford to run and hit run against him without being fearful of him throwing the ball by the hitter.
He better get to his curveball. I think that may save him if anything does.
Runner not going. McBride strikes out. On a pitch blown away. McBride reached for it and struck out. The third strikeout for Nolan Ryan. As tall right-hander Ken Forsch warms up for the home club. Leisurely, but getting loose. He used to toil out of the bullpen, so it won't take him very long to get ready.
Jack, Nolan Ryan is the kind of a pitcher. If he's having an erratic day, and he may be having one today, it's really too early to predict. You can use up a pitcher in the bullpen. He'll be up 3 or 4 times, then you got to get rid of him and go to somebody else.
Mike Schmidt, the batter, fouled out first his first time. Right-handed hitter, strike. Oh, that was a blazing fastball. Oof. Ryan really brought that one. That's the Ryan Express. Schmidt with 5 hits in the playoff, 5 out of 20. And only 1 run batted in. Rose takes off. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw by Pujols. He is out. Rose tried to slide in there, hand first. He's arguing. And then evidently split off the base and they tagged him out. Pujols to Morgan. Tried to get in there with his hand, but he's not going to fool his old buddy, Joe Morgan.
Had he gone in with his feet, he might have made it, but he got his entire body past the bag and tried to slip that hand in. There was Joe waiting for him. He had him dead.
Rose and Morgan were all tangled up, and the second base umpire, Bob Engel, called him out. Meanwhile, it's a strike 2 count on Mike Schmidt. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. Frequently, a defensive play like that will spark the offense, and Houston will have the top of their order up in the 3rd inning. We're in the top of the 3rd. The Phillies lead 2-1. 2 out, the base is empty. Ryan has 1 strikeout in this inning and 3 in the game. He brings it in. Schmidt leans back from a ball. 2-2. We've already had plenty of action in this game. We get a telegram from Phoenix, Arizona. Natalie and Frank enjoying the game by the swimming pool. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Mike Schmidt. Outfield deep to the left. Ryan takes too much time. Batter steps out. The 2-2. Schmidt swings and strikes out. The breaking ball got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 in the game for Nolan Ryan. No runs, 1 hit, a man out stealing, nobody left. Top of the order coming up for Houston, going into the bottom of the 3rd. Philadelphia 2, the Astros 1.
We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The top of the order for Houston coming on. Jack Buck is here.
Harry Pohl singled his first time. Stole second, scored a run. Faces Marty Bystrom and takes a strike call on the outside part. Strike 1. Bystrom has given up 3 hits and a walk in the first 2 innings with no strikeout. Right back with another. Pohl, a changeup and a base hit, and he now has 8 hits. Smashed it into right field, a leadoff single. Boy, he's a good, solid ball player, Jerry.
Both Rose and Poole have 8 hits in this series, and they are light years ahead of everybody else. The 2 leadoff men are doing their thing this afternoon.
You know, Cabell flied to right his first time. Poole swiped the base his first time. Oh, Marty Pystrom is going to have to pay attention to him. Cabell, a right-handed batter. To wear the Baltimore uniform. Outfield just about straight away with Luzinski very deep in left. A base hit to left, while Poole will be able to go to third. Plus Luzinski reacts extremely well. Cabell doesn't hit it out in that direction very often. Tying run is on for Houston. Throw to first. He's back in and the first. Bystrom undefeated in the major league. Sets the runner, throws to first, he's back again. It's been a while since he's pitched.
About 11 days, and he doesn't look any worse for wear. He had a little trouble getting started in the first inning, but he settled down.
Cabell out of the batter's box, gets back in. The Phillies lead 2-1 here in the third. Houston has put the leadoff man on. Here's the pitch. Cabell swings, pops it foul, and Boone coming back near the screen, has the play, has the ball for the out. So Enos Cabell failed to move the runner over as he fouled out. Here's Joe Morgan.
Yeah, we got Joe Morgan coming on. He's a guy who gets a lot of base on balls, and we asked him why.
Well, the real reason is that all these pitchers in this league somehow hate for a little guy to hit a home run. I remember when I played with the Reds and I hit a home run, they'd be so mad at me. Spencer, Perez, one of those guys hit them, they smile, say, well, what can I do? So what they try to do is pitch me like they do the big guys, and they can't do that. You know, my strike zone is smaller, and I do know the strike zone very well. I don't swing a lot of bad pitches. So I'll take a close pitch, you know, if it's off the plate. You know, my theory is it's either a ball or a strike. There's no such thing as a close pitch. You know, it's either one or the other. Either it's on the plate or it's off the plate, and that's the way I try to hit.
Okay, Jack, go ahead.
And the first pitch to Morgan is off the plate. Ball 1 low outside. 1 on, 1 out. A throw to first. Poole dances back in. Houston now has 4 hits. The Phillies 3. Poole might be inclined to run. He's not going. The pitch out. A throw down to first by Boone, and Rose had to dig it out of the dirt. Funny thing about that play at first, I mentioned earlier, the Houston ball club kept statistics on there, and they realized that their catcher had never thrown down there and picked a man off, so they just forgot about the play. They faked the throw but wouldn't throw it because they used to make a lot of errors and move the runner over to third. A lead by Poole, not going. Morgan swings a long one into right center. He really got into it. Hancock is back of the wall. He's going to get it. He does up against the wall. Poole retraces second base and gets back to first with 2 outs, and Morgan came within about 3 feet of bombing it out of here.
Once again, that 395-foot fly ball has stayed in the ballpark. As Morgan pulled it, he hit this ball almost into center field. It was between the 406 and the 390 mark, more toward center, and that gave Maddox, one of the great center fielders, a chance to get to it. Had it been on the other side of the 390 mark, he could have had some sparks around here.
Morgan really got into it. It's 340 down the line and left and right here in the Astrodome. 390 in the power alleys and 406 to dead center. I'll bet Pystrom held his breath when that ball took off. The batter is Cruz with Poole at first, 2 out. Cruz doubled home the Houston run in the first inning. And Houston had a man thrown out at the plate in the second inning. Here's the ball outside. With Cruz at the plate, Poole probably won't be running. There's hitting room through the right side for the Astro outfielder. Poole edges away at first base. Not going. Cruz takes a strike call to the knees. 1-1 from the rookie right-hander. Bystrom's only a baby. 22 years old. From Miami, Florida. Didn't start pitching professionally until 1977. Attended junior college in Miami. The pitch to Cruz, a swing and a foul. Out front, he bounced it into the Houston dugout. Now he's in the hole, 1-2. The score is the Phillies leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Tying run on, 2 out. And Cruz in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ballpark just jammed. No empty seats here this evening. Cruz waiting. He's had 5 hits in this playoff series. Took a ball outside. 2-2. Now Houston might run. Bull takes his lead. Not going. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul. Keeps Cruz at the plate. Bob Boone drove in the 2 Philadelphia runs in the second with 2 outs. Runners at second, third, first base open, and the pitcher coming up next. They'll ask Bill Burton about that after the game. Very heavy media coverage down here, and they ask everybody everything. Next one to Cruz. They pitch out on 2-2, and it's 3-2.
You don't see it often. It's the second time in this series that we have seen it. It's an unusual play, but you have to feel absolutely that the runner will be gone. He's gone now.
3-2 the count with 2 outs. It will help Houston's chances if Cruz gets an extra base hit. Poole takes the lead. He's going. The pitch is low, ball 4, and he walks. Boone thought he had him struck out. Weissman issues his second walk. And Dennis Walling is the batter. Hit the ball hard, but out to Manny Trio his first time.
Jack, the pitch out on 2-2 is another controversial play, particularly with a young rookie out there, maybe kind of feeling his way along. And at the same time, he has been hit pretty good. Terry Poole hit the ball solidly. Morgan almost drove it out of the ballpark, and Cruz a dangerous batter. So what you're really doing is putting him in the hole in a spot like that. Let's see how it develops.
Dennis Walling batted .299 during the year. He's a left-handed batter, was platooned most of the season. He could be a Houston hero. 2 on, 2 out. Third inning, Phillies leading 2-1. Here's the pitch on the way. Low ball 1. Houston had 2 men on in the first, 2 men on in the second, 2 men on here in the third. So Bystrom has already had a busy evening. His pitch to Walling. Swing and a line drive into right. McBride going back at the track. He's there. Reaches up and makes the catch for the out. Walling has hit the ball hard twice, but has nothing to show for it.
Jack, I have the feeling that Marty Bystrom has to feel he is a very lucky young man to get out of that inning. There were 3 balls hit on the button and only 1 base hit, so he gets out of it, leaving 2 men on.
Morgan pinned the center fielder Maddox against the wall, and Walling sent McBride to the track. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, 2 left. Houston has left 4 and had a man thrown out at the plate. After 3, the Phillies 2, Houston 1.
Okay, here's Jack Buck for the play-by-play.
Luzinski swings and misses a low breaking ball, and Nolan Ryan hasn't thrown him many fastballs. Luzinski fanned his first time in the second. He's had 4 hits in the playoffs. Right-handed batter looks at a fastball, and it's strike 2 call. Ryan seemed to heat it up a lot better in the third. He's pitching in the fourth with the Phillies on top 2-1. Bell deep behind the base at third. The pitch on the way, and it's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Pujols blocked the ball. He's the catcher with Cabell, Reynolds, Morgan, and Howe. On the infield, Cruz, Poole, and Walling in the outfield. Luzinski, Trio, and Maddox, all right-handed batters in this inning. The pitch to Gregg. Up high, 2-2. Up and in on that one. The winner here tonight plays Kansas City in the National League City Tuesday night. Luzinski takes strike 3, call. Breaking ball got him. Luzinski fans for the second time. 5 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan and 3 in a row.
And if you wonder what the Major League record is, it belongs to Tom Seaver with the unbelievable 10 straight strikeouts. I still can't believe that, Jack.
Manny Trio singled and scored in the second. Trailing 1-0 in the second, Trio singled, Maddox walked. The runners advanced and a ball batted back to the pitcher, and with 2 out, Bob Boone singled both runners home. Trio takes a strike call. Nolan Ryan, who lost only twice during the season here in the Astrodome, while winning 8, seems to have hit his stride. Next pitch, ball outside. In the game Wednesday night, which ended with Houston winning at 7-4 in extra innings, Ryan pitched 6 1/3, gave 2 runs, 8 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. Here he's already struck out 5, walked 1, allowed 3 hits. He brings home another to Manny Trio. Swinging a foul. Out of play, back up to the right. The Phillies win. They'll get home tomorrow at 1:45 Philadelphia time. Well, they'll get home at that time tomorrow, win or lose. Or if they win, they'll host Kansas City Tuesday night. You'll hear the World Series here on CBS Radio with Vin Scully and Sparky Anderson and Win Elliott. 1 out. Trio fouls it. He's still up there with a 1-2 count. Tomorrow night, Hank Stram and I will be in Denver for the Washington Redskin game, and on the air at 8:50 Eastern Time on CBS Radio. Dick Stockton starts it off at 8:50. Brent Musburger's with us at halftime. Ryan has fanned Luzinski to start the 4th. And he's working on Manny Trio. Here it comes. Swing and a line drive, base hit into right center. Another hit for Trio. He's 2 for 2. That ball is up and in, and he fought it off as so many of those Latin ball players can do, Jerry. They get the hands out in front.
All of the hits off of Ryan have been high fastballs, and generally that's the one he handles best. At least Ryan, when he gets that ball in around the letters or up around the eyes, it takes that little extra hop. He's lost something up there, and of course the one that he lost most was to Bob Boone that scored 2. A fastball right up around the eyes, and he drilled it to center field to score Trio and Maddox.
Last night after the game here, they had to convert it to football after the baseball game. The batter, Gary Maddox, a foul on a half swing, strike 1. Houston defeated Texas A&M, and the game didn't start until after 11 p.m. and didn't end until after 2 o'clock this morning. And then the ground crew, which has been here straight through, had to ready the field for this baseball game. 1 on, 1 out. Each club 4 hits now. 4th inning, Phillies lead 2-1 over Houston. Maddox at the plate with a strike 1 count, and he's a pretty good hit and run man. Trio is the man at first. They like to run in a spot like this. Maddox with his feet spread wide apart waits. Trio not going. The pitch inside. Maddox gets hit by a lot of pitches. He has difficulty avoiding them because of his batting style.
There's a very widespread stance, and it's not conducive to getting out of the plate in a hurry or away from the pitches that come inside. He spreads out. He's a very long-legged athlete. When he gets that thing spread out, it looks like it's about a 6-foot stance.
Runner at first. Trio not going. Maddox takes it high outside. Maddox used to be with the Giants. He was in professional baseball and really didn't like it. He went into the Army and ended up in Vietnam. And he decided that baseball wasn't so bad after all. So he came back, and he has turned out to be a very, very solid ball player, and perhaps the best National League outfielder with regard to catching the baseball. He can really go get it. Let's see if Trio goes. Takes the lead. Not going, and Maddox hits a double play ball to Reynolds. He gets it over to Morgan and on to first. Double play. I was really surprised they didn't start the runner, but a double play, 6-4-3. Now
Well, a big break for Houston. 1 pitch, 2 outs. They've got Philadelphia out of there in the 4th inning, but they are still trailing 2-1.
He went Reynolds to Morgan to Art Howe. No runs, 1 hit, a double play, nobody left. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Howe will lead it off for Houston, and the Phillies are on top 2-1.
It's the Houston Astros sending up Art Howe against Marty Bystrom of the Philadelphia Phillies. 2-1, Philadelphia leading.
Howe popped out his first time up. He's had only 1 out of 12 in this playoff series. First pitch from the rookie right-hander Marty Bystrom. Ball 1 high. Detroit Lions beat New Orleans 24-13. The Jets over Atlanta 14-7. And Oakland upset San Diego 38-24. Tomorrow night on CBS Radio, Washington and Denver. And that score 14-14 that Jerry Coleman gave you, Tampa Bay and Green Bay, that was the final score of the first tie game of the season. A little dispute as to where Howe was standing in the batter's box. Ed Largo, the plate umpire, squares it away. It'll be Howe, Pujols, and Reynolds. Jerry Coleman, I know you have the impression that Houston's really knocking the ball around the ballpark but getting nothing out of it.
Well, the left-hand hitters have been very effective against Bystrom. The right-handers not quite as much, but we'll see as it goes along.
Here's the breaking ball up high to Howe. Houston had a man thrown out at the plate in the 2nd inning. Would have tied the score at that time. Joe Morgan narrowly missed a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Dennis Walling has hit the ball hard twice, but has nothing for it. Here's a foul off to the left. 2 balls and a strike. Howe used to labor for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Fellow plays second base, third base, first base. Not a very spectacular ball player, but he doesn't make many mistakes. And that's the sort that Bill Burton likes to have in his lineup. Leading off, Howe swings. There's a base hit in the right center. Over to get it is Maddox. Gets it back in, and the leadoff man is on. 5 hits for Houston. And Dallas Green agrees with you, Jerry. He's shipping Dick Ruthven down there to the bullpen to warm it up.
One of the things you mentioned yesterday, Jack, that Ruthven said, I am going to pitch. That was today. But if you talk to the Philadelphia players, they say Ruthven is an excellent pitcher, but he needs 4 days rest. Now, he'll be pitching with 1 day short than the rest department, only 3. Let's see what happens if he gets in there.
2 pitchers warm up, Warren Brewster and Dick Ruthven. Brewster, a stopper, good double play pitcher. Here the pitch comes to Pujols. Ball 1 low. Pujols threw a walk in the 2nd, tried to score on a double by Reynolds, but was cut down. McBride trio to Boone. And because he's not running well, and even though they're trailing, Houston might start the runner. The pitch swing and a chopper to the left side. Smith gets it, throws to 2nd out, no other play. Pujols is on in the fielder's choice, 5-4. And the batter is Craig Reynolds.
Jack, because of Mike Schmidt's great offensive skills, the home run, the base hits, the RBIs, people forget that he is one of the best defensive players in the National League at his position, and certainly is going to be the MVP of 1980 in the National League. But he can handle third with any of them.
Listen to everything that he does so well. He used to be able to steal bases with the best of them, but the wear and tear of everyday play has slowed him down a little bit. 1 on, 1 out. Reynolds got his first hit in the playoffs back in the 2nd inning. A 1-out double, and Pujols was out at the plate. Reynolds is 1 out of 9. Rose plays behind the runner at first. Bystrom looks over and pitches. Reynolds chops to the right side. Second baseman gets it. Will go to first for the out. Pujols advances. Trio throws out Reynolds, and Ryan will bat. And even if he makes an out, Jerry, it's valuable that he bat in this inning because that will put their leadoff man, Terry Poole, at the plate in the 5th.
Although it didn't develop in this inning, one of the reasons that Reynolds is batting in the number 8 spot behind Pujols, who has a poorer average, is because Reynolds can get on base, and you need that with 2 down to get that pitcher out of the way so he's not the leadoff man and destroy what might be a potential big inning to follow.
Ryan grounded out his first time. His club is trailing 2-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning of this final game in the National League season. Bystrom steps off the rubber with the runner at second base. They have to change the signs, and so Bystrom wants to talk it over with Bob Boone.
Jack, I might mention also about the number 8 hitter. He has to take a lot of pitches. He has to try to work for walks, and in every case, it's to get on so the pitcher can come up and get him out of the inning, because you don't get too much work out of a pitcher with that bat. And also, you can't strike out a lot. You got to make contact. So there are a lot of demands by the number 8 hitter.
Right called, and Bystrom gets ahead of Ryan with a breaking ball. Ryan grounded to short his first time. Pujols is on at second with 2 outs. Bystrom coming right after Ryan. A breaking ball. Strike called. He got the breaking ball over again. Strike 2. Now the next one from the Philly right-hander. A breaking ball. Strike 3 call. He got them all over, and Ryan was called out on strikes, and Bystrom gets his first strikeout. A leadoff single for Houston is wasted. 1 left, and they have stranded 5 and lost another runner at the plate. After 4 full innings in this final game of the National League this season, the Phillies lead Houston 2-1.
Okay, we got things rolling here. We're sailing right along into the 5th inning. We're going to send Larry Bowa up against Nolan Ryan. 2-1 Philadelphia. They have 2 runs on 4 base hits. The Astros 1 run on 5 hits. Phillies got their runs in the 2nd inning. Houston got theirs in the 1st. Here's Jack Buck.
Thank you, Jerry. And Dick Ruthven continues to throw down in the bullpen for Philadelphia. Bowa takes a strike. He's batting in the number 7 spot. Nolan Ryan's pitch caught the inside corner. Bowa used to bat in the leadoff spot for many years for the Phils. Steps out his first time up. Swings and fouls it. Strike 2. These Houston fans giving all the support to the ball club that they can muster. Only once has either team gone down 1-2-3. That was in the Philadelphia first. Next pitch down low, ball 1. It'll be Bowa, Boone, and Bystrom, the 3 Bs. Infielders all shortened up a step with Bowa at the plate. The outfielder round to the left. Bowa leading off in the 5th inning. Takes a strike call on the outside corner. He's out of there. And 6 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan as he gets the leadoff man here in the 5th inning.
Ryan appears to be picking up a little steam, as he will do from time to time. He had to struggle. One bad inning the 2nd inning. He just didn't seem to have his stuff. Although striking out Lazinski to start the inning, he let a couple of batters get away, and that 2-run single by Boone has been deadly at this moment.
Trio singled, Maddox walked, Bowa grounded out, the runners advanced and scored on a single by Boone, and he looks at it high. Those were the first runs batted in for Bob Boone in this series. Houston had scored a run in the 1st. The Phillies got 2 in the 2nd. We're in the 5th. 2-1 Philadelphia. Boone takes the ball. Ball 2.
Jack Ruthven is still down in the bullpen. It may be that if Boone gets on, they'll have a pinch hitter for Bystrom. It could be a gambling play by manager Dallas Green. We'll have to watch the event.
Either that or Ruthven just feels that he needs an awful lot of time being a starter to loosen out there in the bullpen. Here's a high fly ball driven into right center. Dennis Walling wants it. Calls for it. Has it. 2 out. And Bystrom will bat for himself. So Ruthven just wants that additional time to get loose in the bullpen. Bystrom bounced to short into a force out his first time, and we watched him in batting practice, and he stung the ball pretty well.
He's got a good rhythmic swing, makes contact.
Strike call. Nolan Ryan set him down 1-2-3 in the 1st, faced the minimum in the 3rd when Rose was out stealing. Faced the minimum in the fourth when he got a double play off the bat of Maddox. And now he throws strike 2 call to Marty Bystrom, a big curveball. Bystrom had struck him out in a curveball, and he says, "Here, how do you like this one, kid?" No balls, 2 strikes. And he might get another. Here it comes, and a curve is a little bit high. The Houstons start to walk off the field. We're in the top of the 5th. The Phillies lead 2-1. And it will be Poole, Cabell, and Morgan, the top of the Houston batting order in their 5th inning. Another pitch from Ryan. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a breaking ball. Down in order go the Phillies. 2 strikeouts in the inning and 7 in the game for Nolan Ryan. We go into the home half of the 5th. The score, Philadelphia 2, Houston 1. Philadelphia sitting on top as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. They're ahead 2-1 with a 2-run shot by Bob Boone in the top of the 2nd inning. We talked to manager Dallas Green about what he might be doing as far as his pitching was concerned, because strategy is such a vital part of a game like this when there is no tomorrow. And we wondered if he would go to any of his starters if Marty Bystrom got in trouble.
Yeah, we've got Ruthven ready, and we've got Larry Christensen ready, but I have a lot of faith in my bullpen. They're very capable of throwing every day.
So we did see Dick Ruthven down there throwing last inning when it appeared as though Bystrom might have been getting himself in some trouble after that leadoff single by Art Howe. Bystrom is still in there. He's given up 5 hits and 1 run. He'll be going up against the top of the order, Terry Poole, Enos Cabell, and Joe Morgan. In 3 of the 4 innings, Houston has put the leadoff man on. Twice it has been Terry Poole. He singled in the first, stole a base, and scored the only Houston run to this point. He singled again in the 3rd inning. Buck was left on. Who are we waiting for? Gary Maddox, the center fielder of the Phillies, hasn't taken his position yet. Looks pretty interesting without a center fielder. Maybe they ought to play the game that way. Get a little more action. Here's a good way to start your weekday mornings, folks. Check the sports scene with Win Elliott, Jim Kelly, and the Sports World Roundup. It's our earliest network sports broadcast, and Win and Jim bring you wrap-ups and a rundown on what's to come. Another reason why CBS is your network for sports. Tomorrow night, Hank Stram and I will be Mile High Stadium in Denver before that sellout crowd of almost 75,000. The Washington Redskins playing there against the Denver Broncos on the air at 8:50 Eastern Time. And the World Series commences Tuesday. The date will be the 14th at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time in the home of the Eastern Division champion, either here in the Astrodome or at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Terry Poole leads it off. He has 8 hits, more than anybody else in this playoff series. 2 for 2 today. Faces Marty Bystrom, bottom of the 5th. Phillies leading 2-1. Cabell and Morgan will follow. Here's the pitch from the right-hander. And a foul and a half swing rolls into the Philadelphia dugout. Strike 1. So an old member of the Phillies, Carol Behringer, who came down to visit former teammates. He's now retired from the game of baseball. Long time with the Dodgers. Schmidt is in at 3rd, guarding against the bunt. The pitch is made, and Poole was going to bunt. Took a strike. Strike 2. Poole will bunt the ball for hits because he can run, or he'll hit the ball out, and he has the most home runs of any Houston player for the year. A modest total of 13. 2 quick strikes as Bystrom whirls it home. Curveball hits foul past first. Up against the railing of the Houston dugout. They have some of the longest dugouts in the world here. More than 100 feet long. They said they did that so all the fans could say they had a seat right behind the dugout. Some of them are pretty far from home plate. Here's the pitch again. Swinging a ground ball to first. Pedro scoops it up, makes the play, unassisted, 1 out. Finally, Terry Poole is retired, and Cabell will bat with the bases empty. He's flied to right and fouled out to the catcher. We're in
the bottom of the fifth. The Phillies leading 2-1, and the rookie right-hander, Marty Bystrom, although some balls have been hit hard, and even though men have been on base in every inning, Bystrom retains the 2-1 lead. Cruz drove in the first inning run for Houston, and a Bob Boone single got 2 for the Phillies in the second with 2 out. And it followed a batted ball by Boa, which could have been a double play, but Ryan bobbled it and only got 1. Strike call to Cabell. Bystrom is no slouch in the fastball department, Jerry.
I'll tell you one thing, he's doing a pretty good job, although he had some problems from time to time. He seems to be fighting his way back, and he got the key man he had to get. He got the front man.
He throws inside to Cabell. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know that Houston is playing without Cesar Cedeno. Alan Ashby, who would be catching today, has a rib injury, although he told me he is capable of performing today. Cabell out in front takes a strike call and a breaking ball. He's in the hole, 1 and 2. And of course they lost J. Rodney Richards. The injuries have plagued the Houston club, but most baseball teams could say the same thing over the long haul. Poole has been retired, 1 out, bases empty. Bystrom, the 6'5" right-hander. As the batter set up, pitches, Cabell swings, grounds it to the left side. It's foul as it goes by Mike Schmidt at third. Cabell, a tall, skinny guy, thin as soup. Thin as soup in a boarding house. Skin of a new potato. Would you like more of that?
Sure, I think 2's enough.
For exercise, he takes the dive into a right tomato. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Cabell. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a base hit to left. Cabell singles to left, and even as he's running down to first base, he jabbed a fist at Joe Morgan. He said, "Come on, Joe."
All right, here's a spot for this young right-hander, Marty Bystrom, simply from the standpoint that there are 3 left-hand hitters coming up, and this is where he's had his problem. He's got Morgan, Cruz, and Walling waiting, and Joe's going to be the first guy out of the box.
Philadelphia doesn't have the long relief left-hander. They have a spot pitcher in Brewster, a right-hander, and Ruffin is warming up again. The batter is Joe Morgan. Twice is wide to center. He takes ball 1 low. Tying run out at first for Houston. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out. Morgan hit a routine fly ball to center in the first inning, and then sends Gary Maddox back to the fence with a man on base in the 3rd. A throw to first, the runner gets back. So Morgan came within a whisker of a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. Hitting room through the right side. Here's a pitch up high. Cabell, a very good base stealer.
The strength of Joe Morgan is incredible when you consider he can hit a home run, he can get a base on balls, he can do a lot of things that most people can't do, and Joe is dangerous.
Cabell is not running. Morgan takes ball 3, and the big man for Houston is on deck. That's Jose Cruz, and here comes Herm Starrett, the pitching coach of the Phillies, out of the dugout to talk it over. Bystrom started to work very rapidly.
There's no question about it, Jack. The thing that he did was he got a little flustered, and I think the crowd may have activated that, but you're right, Jack. He started to speed up his motion, tried to get rid of the ball too soon, and consequently missed the plate badly with Morgan, who is now 3-0. So Herm Starrett, recognizing this immediately, he's only 22 years old. He turned 22 this year, and they're trying to settle him down. That's the main thing that you worry about in a young pitcher, an extremely young pitcher, is he doesn't get rattled.
Sure, you can hear this crowd. They're trying to help out. And Joe Morgan will not help the pitcher. He'll take a pitch or 2. He won't swing at anything bad. Here it comes, and it's a strike. It's 3-1. Runner at first, Cabell with 1 out. Now if Houston, though trailing 2-1, is inclined to run, they'll go here. Because Morgan can make contact. Cabell, the tying run at first, one out. He's going. Swinging a ground ball, rolls the diving stop. Comes up and makes the play for the putout at first base. 2 out. Tying run at second, and Rose did a somersault after gloving the ball. He is something.
Jack, he's played all over the ball field. He started at second base, went to the outfield, has played third, and now at first. And he has a great pair of hands. They say that his range is limited, but if he gets through the ball, he'll handle it. That might have been a game saver right there. Had it gone through, Cabell would have been sitting at third base, Morgan at first, and Cruz the hitter. As it stands right now, they do have Cabell at second, and that's it with 2 down.
He is something. I tell you, there are a lot of people who don't like him because he comes down and beats their ball club. But I've watched him many, many years, and he's got to be one of the greatest players to ever play the game. And he really isn't a hot dog. A lot of the things he does in a flashy manner. But he gets it done. Cruz is up. Tying run at second, 2 out the pitch. A ball in the dirt. A dandy play by Bob Boone, the catcher. That's the way Roy Campanella used to keep the ball out in front of him.
Yeah, what a catcher he was. First time I saw Campanella was in the 1949 series, the Dodgers and the Yankees. And they're still talking about the defensive exhibition he put on in that series. It was brilliant.
Cruz double homer run with 2 out in the first. Then he drew a walk. 5 hits in the series. He's the leading RBI man on the Houston club this year. Tying run at second, 2 out the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to second. Trio has it. Throws from the edge of the outfield. High. Wait, the runner trying to score is out. Cabell tried to score from second base. As Trio threw high to Rose, and Cruz beat him out. I guess they'll call it a hit, and then Rose threw him out at the plate.
He wasn't caught sleeping, and that can happen to anybody down at first base on a ball that pulls you off the bag, and Pete was. He just came up, knew Cabell would try it, and had him easily, although Cabell made a straight-in slide, and he hit Boone's foot very hard.
They give Trio an error for the high throw, allowing Cruz to reach base, and Cruz is limping a bit. He jammed himself into the base, much like Cedeno did the other night. And here came the speedy Cabell around third base, and Rose, wide awake, threw the ball to Boone, had the plate blocked, and tagged him out. That's the second man Houston has lost at the ditch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. Houston is stranded 6 and lost 2 men at home plate. And after 5, it's the Phillies 2 and Houston 1.
Pete Rose coming on now, leading it off here in the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Rose, McBride, and Schmidt going up against Nolan Ryan. Phillies on top, 2-1. 2 runs, 4 hits. Astros 1 run and 6 hits. And the first pitch by Ryan coming on, and it's called strike 1. Rose struck out, single to left field, and then was thrown out trying to get into second base on a good throw by the catcher, Luis Pujols. A 1-strike pitch to Rose. He takes it low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield playing Rose well off to the left side. Cruz down the line in left field, and left center the center fielder Terry Poole, and Denny Walling shading into right center. The big part of the open field is down the right field line as Rose waits and swings and misses. Ball and 2 strikes. Nolan Ryan has already nailed 7 via the strikeout route, and he's ready for more if he can get it. Ryan checks his catcher. The pitch on the way by Nolan to Rose. Check swing foul, drifts off against the backstop, and we'll try it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Ryan struck out Rose to start the ball game in the first. He got Lazinski leading off the 2nd inning. He closed out the 3rd inning with strikeouts of Bake McBride and Mike Schmidt. He got Lazinski again leading off the 4th, and then he struck out Larry Boa leading off the 5th and closed it out with Marty Bystrom in the 5th inning. So he's got 7 on the board right now. The 1-2 pitch to Rose up the grab by Ryan. What a play by Nolan Ryan. A hard shot. He got him. How do you do? A line drive bullet. Ryan stuck out his glove, and there it was. He hardly had time to react and speared it as Rose is out on a hard shot to the pitcher. Jake McBride steps in. He flied to left and struck out 0 for 2. He is 5 for 20 in the series. And this is it. We are in the 6th inning. Philadelphia leading in a tight one, 2-1, and it's been that way throughout the entire 4 previous games. Way throughout the entire 4 previous games. 3 of them going into extra innings. McBride from the left side with that short bat and the light bat takes low and outside for ball 1. Ryan, who won only 11 games and lost 10 during the regular season, trying to cap a 1 here and pick up number 12 for 1980. There's a fastball a little bit low as McBride takes it. 2 balls and no strikes. Ryan remarkably had a record of 8-2 here on the Astrodome and only 3-8 on the road. Outfield has McBride spread out. They play him pretty much straight away at all spots. Close in at third base is Cabell looking for the possible bunt. Swing and a miss by McBride. 2 balls and 1 strike. Astros got their run in the first inning. Phillies came back with 2 in the second, and that has been it. Bystrom and Ryan have checked the hitters to keep them rather quiet for the time being. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Hit high and foul on the left side. The count rolls 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Houston Astrodome, 340 down each line, 390 into the power alleys, 406 to dead center, a 12-foot wall, and the ball does not carry here. We have had only 1 home run in the entire series. That's by Greg Luzinski, and it helped win the first ball game for Philadelphia. Ryan ready again. The 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way to McBride. He struck him out. Strikeout number 8 for Nolan Ryan, and he is moving.
He's starting to get that breaking ball over now, Jerry. Not only just in this inning, but the last couple of innings, whereas early on he wasn't. The ball was hanging for him a little bit. They got hurt on a few high fastballs, but now that he's getting the breaking ball over, he can get the fastball by the hitter.
Jack, you brought that up right off the top of the ball game, that Ryan has an outstanding fastball, but people overlook the fact he has one of the best curveballs going, and the combination of the 2 over the plate makes him very tough. Here's Mike Schmidt. Mike is 0 for 2 in this one. Fouled the first and struck out.
Along those lines, Jerry, the same way with Bob Feller when he was at his peak.
I'm going to tell a great story about Feller as Schmidt takes one high for a ball. First time I ever faced Feller, he went 3-0 and hit me in the rib. And I think he did it on purpose now I think about it.
He would have done it. And Koufax, of course, fit into the same category. Good fastball, devastating curve.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Schmidt. It's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 48 home runs, a new record for third baseman. He broke the record set by Eddie Matthews many years ago at 47. He's got 48 this year, 121 RBIs.
They have an explosion here with a Ryan fastball and a Schmidt swing.
Nolan Ryan ready again. Has a sign from his catcher. The right-hander winds. A 2-0 pitch. Curveball in there, and that must mean he's getting it over. He's throwing a breaking ball behind the hitter. 2 balls and no strikes. Now it's 2-1. Plate umpire, Ed Vargo. The pressure is on umpires as well as it is the players in these games. Fastball high over his head. He missed Stanley with that one, and Ryan just walks around the mound sort of mumbling to himself. Well, the one man who has had 2 explosive base hits for Philadelphia, Greg Luzinski, is in the on-deck circle. A home run in the first game in Philadelphia helped them win it 3-1, and yesterday that double down the line got Rose in from first base to put him over the top.
He won't give in to Schmidt here, even though Luzinski's up next.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. It's a looper behind second base. Going back is Morgan in the short right field. He's got it over his shoulder for the out. Joe Morgan over the shoulder pulled that one in. And it's 3 up and 3 down for Philadelphia in the 6th inning. After 5.5, Phillies 2, Astros 1. We got a squeaker going here at the Astrodome, and both bullpens are active. Ken Forsch is throwing in the Houston bullpen. Looking down the line, Nolan Ryan is the fifth batter in the bottom of the sixth inning. He gets up there, and down in the Philadelphia bullpen, we have Ron Reed and Warren Brewster, two right-handers going. Dennis Walling, Art Howe, and Louis Pujols are the scheduled hitters against Marty Bystrom in the bottom of the sixth inning. Walling 0 for 2 in the ball game. Bounced to second, line hard to right field. He is 0 for 6 in the championship series. First pitch to Walling, right down the horn for a strike. Dennis Walling has a little punch. He can hit the ball to the opposite field, and they've got him played over there. The left fielder, Lazinski, near the line, and in left center, Gary Maddox. The pitch on the way to Walling. Check swing, and he takes it low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. If Walling can find that right center field alley, he could run for 3 bases with ease. From the left side, he's waiting. Bystrom ready, kicks and delivers, and he misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Marty Bystrom, the 22-year-old rookie right-hander, 5-0 in the month of September, and that has been his record.
Maddox is playing in left center. Now he goes to straightaway center field.
There's a shot into left center field. Lazinski is over. He can't get it. Off his glove. Walling on his way to second base, and the tying run is down there.
The ball just ate him up out there. It was hit so hard. It'll be an interesting ruling, Jerry. They might give him a double. I think I would.
I will say this, Jack. The ball was a catchable baseball, and Lazinski ran right into it, got his glove dead on it, and it kicked away. What he really did was he ran under the ball.
Ball fooled him. He didn't realize it was hit as hard as it was. And the ball took off, and Lazinski jabbed at it and went off his glove. Walling ends up at second base, tying run, nobody out.
Yeah, they are charging an error to Greg Lazinski. They say he should have caught it. That may turn out to be a critical play in this ball game. The Phillies are leading 2-1. Houston has its lead man at second base, nobody out, last half of the sixth inning. Here's Art Howe, right-hand hitting first baseman. Howe takes the breaking ball high for ball 1. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network. Howe from the right side, waiting. Bystrom is ready. Pitch on the way to Hart. Swings and misses to the breaking ball, and he would not have hit that ball the other way.
Surprising to see Howe swing in that fashion. He's had a hit in this game in 2 out of 13. He should be trying to move that runner over to third base, even though the light-hitting Pujols would be up next. I think they'd pinch hit for him. It's Howe's job to get that runner at third.
All right, let's see how manager Bill Burton handles it. Ron Reed, Warren Brewster throwing in the Philly bullpen. And time is called as the fans are absolutely going bananas here at the Astrodome. Ken Force throwing down in the Houston bullpen. Outfield shaded to the left side. Infield straight away and back. 1-1 pitch coming up. Bystrom kicks, delivers, and Howe takes low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Marty Bystrom has all he can handle right now.
Dave Bergman, a left-handed batter, is swinging a bat in the Houston dugout, and others are doing the same.
Bystrom ready again. The pitch on the way, and Howe chops it on the third base side. That's exactly what he does not want to do. That would freeze Walling at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phillies, 2 runs, 4 hits. Astros, 1 run and 6 hits. The Phillies have been charged with 2 errors. One by the second baseman that almost cost them a run, and the other by Greg Lazinski, the leadoff this inning that may cost them a run.
Danny Heath is swinging a bat. He and Bergman are both left-handed batters. They're in the dugout. The next batter would be Pujols.
Art Howe waiting, Walling off at second. Bystrom picks. The pitch by the young right-hander. A chopper on the third base side, drifting foul, and we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I was rather surprised to see Bystrom with an off-speed breaking ball. That would be the kind of pitch, or maybe that's what he wants, to get Howe out in front and pull that ball.
One thing he has been doing, Jack, he's been throwing the ball into Howe, trying to get him to hit the ball on the left side, and that'll keep Walling at second base. Howe back in there again. He finished like gangbusters in the month of September, one of the hottest of all the Houston Astro hitters. Howe waiting, playing the open stance, holds the bat on the end. Bystrom checks, looks at second. Here's the pitch on the way. It's popped up on the right side. May drifts into the seat, throws it over, and he can't get it.
Everybody in that Houston dugout rooting that ball out of play, and it went back behind the dugout. Alan Ashby is also loosening up in the Houston dugout. It's a beehive of activity down there.
Well, we've said it so many times before. This is it. Whoever wins it goes on to the World Series, and whoever loses it goes home for a long rest until spring training next March. Now Bob Boone's going to go out and talk to his young right-hander to try to settle him down a wee bit. This is a pressure moment. We are in the bottom of the sixth inning. Philadelphia has a one-run lead. They're leading 2-1. Houston with a tying run at second base and nobody out. Dennis Walling opened up with a hard shot to left field that Lazinski literally ran under, got his glove on it. They charged him with an error, and Walling is waiting at second base.
And Lazinski is rooting hardest of all for Bystrom to get him out.
All right, Howard's back in there again. Walling drifting off at second. Back at third, deep is Smith. He's waiting. Here's the pitch by Bystrom. The kick by the right-hander. It's coming up. A check swing dribbler to third. That'll hold the runner at second. Up with it is Schmidt over to first base. He's got him at first. Howe is out of there, and he sawed the bat right off in his hand. And Walling remains at second. A big play. Art Howe couldn't get the bat out in front. Give credit to Marty Bystrom as we're going to have a pinch hitter coming on to do the hitting for Luis Pujols.
I mentioned earlier that Alan Ashby had indicated before the game that he is capable of playing today. So he's going to pinch hit and then go behind the plate for Pujols. Pujols had a walk and was 0 for 1 while he was in there. This is rather uncharacteristic of the Houston Ball Club, failing to move that runner over, particularly when they're going to have this left-handed batter up there. Howe's a pretty good RBI man. They let him swing frequently. Houston will punt that runner over.
You know, that's the one thing I was thinking in the back of my mind after he let Howe go with one swing. I thought he might bunt him, but only the manager knows the skill of the man at the plate. He may not be a good punter. So we'll have to wait and see. Here's Alan Ashby, who is hitting .277 against right-handers, and when he bats left-handed, or right-handed, is hitting only .179 against left-handers. He takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Philadelphia leading at 2-1. Houston, who has squandered a couple of scoring opportunities with men thrown out at the plate. Pujols out in the second inning, and then Cabell out in the fifth, is trying to tie it up. Ashby waits the pitch. Curve is right in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike as Marty Bystrom continues to show the poise of a veteran. Warren Brewster, a right-hander. Ron Reed, another right-hander, throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen. Dick Ruthven, who is scheduled to be a long man, has completed any act he may have to get into this ball game, as manager Dallas Green will go to the short man now. Here's Bystrom, the 1-1 pitch. It's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. And once again, Bob Boone is out to settle down his young right-hander. Sometimes that's just what it takes. I'm trying to remember what year it was that Dick Williams made numerous visits to the mound to settle things down, and they finally put that rule in. You could only go out there 1 time an inning because he went out there so often. Dick Williams at that time managing the Oakland Athletics. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Walling off at second. The pitch by Bystrom. A shot to center field. Base hit. Here comes Walling. Maddox is up with it. The throw is not in time.
Walling took a beating as he slid into the plate. He's limping into the dugout. And Boone was really angry with himself that he didn't block the plate any better than he did.
Walling just did get in ahead of the tag, and he got there all right.
There are a few catchers who wouldn't have allowed that run to score, and Maddox made a very good throw.
So an unearned run for the Houston Astros, and it's all even at 2 apiece. Here comes manager Dallas Green out to talk to his young right-hander. Let's see what's developed here. It looks as though they're going to the bullpen for Warren Brewster.
Brewster is the rally squelcher on this ball club. He doesn't usually finish a ball game. They have others who fill that role. Brewster's the good double play pitcher. How about that Alan Ashby? He was out of action with a bad rib. He's had a lot of pain in the front of the body. But more than that, he said, when I swing the bat, he said, I just hitch back there and can't finish the swing. Well, he drove it into center field. Maddox made a heck of a throw, and I think Boone wanted the runner, Walling, to slide between his legs. But Walling went outside, and Boone had given him a part of the plate, and the score is tied 2-2 here in the 6th inning. This is a classic ball game, isn't it?
Jack, Alan Ashby got hurt in that playoff game in Los Angeles when he and Joe Ferguson collided at the plate trying to score. Ferguson, earlier in the game, had a ball knocked out of his glove by Terry Poole, and in this case, he was going to make sure that Ashby didn't get in there, and he did the job, and Ashby hurt his rib in the process. So we have on the mound Warren Brewster for Marty Bystrom. While this new pitcher is warming up, we'll pause for this.
Marty Bystrom is out of there. Who knows? He might have sailed right through this ball game, but a two-base error by Greg Luzinski on a line drive to left off the bat of Denny Walling. Allowed Walling to reach second base. He stayed there. Is now grounded out and rolled home on a pinch hit by Alan Ashby, and now Bystrom is out. Pitch 5 1/3. Cannot be the winner. Could be the loser. Gave 2 runs, 7 hits, struck out 1, walked 2, and Warren Brewster, B-R-U-S-S-T-A-R, is on the mound. Ashby at first, and the batter is Craig Reynolds. And it's important, Houston doesn't have anybody warming up in the bullpen. They like the way Nolan Ryan is pitching.
Warren Brewster now, his second appearance in the playoff series. He was in there yesterday, went 2 innings, gave up a hit and a run, walked 1 and struck out none. And the first pitch to Craig Reynolds is low for ball 1.
Yes, I'm surprised nobody's warming up, because if Reynolds does something to put the runner in scoring position, I should think that Houston here in the 6th inning would have to pinch hit for Ryan.
All right, let's watch it. Manager Bill Burton obviously feels he'd rather have Ryan in there with a score tied than take a chance on going ahead. But let's see how it develops. Reynolds, 1 for 2 in the ballgame. A double and a ground out to second. Takes inside for 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes, all even at 2 apiece. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Houston has just tied it on a 2-base error by Greg Luzinski and a single by Alan Ashby. Ashby at first base, a short lead. He is not a running threat. He's drifting off. Brewster checking his catcher Boone. Has a sign. The set for delivery. Hit high to shallow left center field. Falling forward is Maddox. He waits for it. He's under it, and he's got it. 2 gone. That'll bring up Nolan Ryan.
Maddox waved Luzinski off, and Luzinski said, yeah, go ahead and catch it.
Jack, in deference to Luzinski, I got to say this. The ball of Walling hit was a real screamer. It was tailing into Luzinski. He didn't pick it up, and he ran under it a little bit. And when he stuck his glove up, it was too late. It hit almost dead center, but he was moving in the wrong direction. And like he's going one way, here comes the ball in the other direction.
Yeah, I'm not picking on him. There are other left fielders who would have failed to catch that one.
Here's Ryan, waiting. Pitch on the way by Brewster. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying, in deference to him. Because he's big. You see, and when you do those pregame shows next year, you let a pinch your head off.
Some game.
The 1-0 pitch on the way. Ryan takes it high. 2 balls, no strike. Phillies 2, Astros 2. I cannot tell you the tremendous excitement that's been generated from this National League Championship Series. Every game, with the exception of the first one, has been a real battle. A swing and a miss by Ryan on a fastball right down the middle. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bob Boone tried to get Ashby at first base, put one down to Pete Rose. No chance there. Bob Willis, Houston coach at first. Over at third is Don Leppert. The pitch by Bruce on the way. Hit hard, right center field. Way back there, way back. And over to get it is McBride. He one-handed and hauls it in. Nolan Ryan almost upset the apple cart with a deep drive into right center field. Philadelphia now, they were leading 2-1. It's all even as Houston picks up 1 run on 1 base hit. 1 critical error, 1 man left. We go to the 7th inning. Phillies 2 and the Astros 2. Well, we've had quite a battle here at the Astrodome in Houston. The crowd has settled back a little bit as Houston tied the score in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's all even at 2, and the line score as we see it right now. Philadelphia 2 runs on 4 hits. They have made 2 errors. Houston 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Nolan Ryan all the way for the Houston Astros will head to the 7th inning, and he'll be going up against Greg Luzinski, Manny Trio, and Gary Maddox. And to call up for you, let's go over to Jack Buck.
7th inning. This National League season not only goes down to the final day, the final game, it goes down to the final 3 innings and may get even tighter than that. And the excitement will mount even higher. The Phillies bat in the 7th, tied 2-2. They've been out hit 7-4. And Greg Luzinski will try to atone for the miscue in the last half inning that cost Philadelphia a run and caused Marty Bystrom to get out of there. Luzinski has struck out twice, and he bats against Nolan Ryan, who has retired 7 in a row at this point. Ryan has struck out 8, and he has walked 1 while scattering 4 hits. Bob Boone has driven in the 2 Philadelphia runs. Cruz and Ashby have driven him in for Houston. Luzinski takes a strike, and we're underway in the 7th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the score here, 7th inning. Next pitch coming. Luzinski swings, base hit to right. Luzinski went the other way and singles, and they may run for him here as he leads off the 7th and snaps the string of Nolan Ryan, who had set down 7 in a row. Luzinski is on, and if he has run 4, it will be by Lonnie Smith. The batter will be Manny Trio.
Couple of things developing here, Jack. Alan Ashby with that bad rib cage. Nobody knows how well he can throw. Lonnie Smith may be just the man to test him. He can run. He leads the Philadelphia Phillies in stolen bases this year.
I talked with Ashby before the game, and he said it's the swinging of the bat that bothers him more than his throwing. He's warming up with Joe Morgan now as Lonnie Smith comes out of the dugout to run for Luzinski. Greg just picked up his 5th hit in this playoff.
We talked to Luzinski before the ball game, and we didn't even realize yesterday that pinch hit double was his 2nd pinch hit career.
And speaking of 2nd, this is only the 2nd time in the game that the Phillies have put their leadoff man on base. Lonnie Smith loosens up down there. I don't know if he'll try to steal, but if he does, Ashby's going to have a heck of a time throwing him out. The batter is Manny Trio. It's getting late enough in the ball game where we may see a bunt. Getting room through the right side for Trio. He's 2 for 2 with 7 hits in the playoffs. A lead by Lonnie Smith. Not going. The pitch, he's going to bunt. He missed it. Strike 1.
I wonder if he missed it or just took it to see what was going on, and maybe start Smith on this one and take a pop at it. Let's see how it develops.
Lee Elia giving the signs down at third. Relaying them as he gets them from the dugout from Dallas Green. Howe at first base holds against Smith. Let's look over there. The pitch. Trio's going to bunt. He does. Hard foul down the first baseline. Strike 2. Ordinarily, Ashby is a very, very good throwing catcher.
Outstanding. One of the best in the league. I'm thinking of the chore that Manny Trio had, Nolan Ryan may be as tough to bunt against as any pitcher in the league. That a hard-riding fastball, if he keeps it up around the letters, sometimes you'll find yourself popping up, but he's a very tough man to bunt.
We're tied 2-2 in this ball game, 7th inning. Leadoff man on, that's Smith. He's playing it rather cozy down there at first, takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Trio swings, a fly ball into center. Terry Poole will get it. Smith goes back to tag up. There's the catch, and Smith stays at first base. He's there with one out, and Poole will follow with a very strong throw into second. As Smith started to go back to first and tag up, he slipped. So he lost all chance of advancing on that fly ball by Trio.
In this ballpark, unless the ball really is hit out of sight, you're almost better off tagging up if you're going to try to advance. Smith, with that big speed, I don't think would have made it to second base, but the only chance he had was to tag up immediately and then take off.
Harry Maddox is up. He walked, he scored, he grounded into a double play. Nolan Ryan on the mound. He's gone all the way. Checks the runner at first. Smith a short lead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball to third. Double play ball. Cabell over to Morgan on to first. Oh, the double play as Howell took it out of the dirt. And Morgan made a flat-footed relay down there. The runner right on top of him. But they completed the double play. That might have been as good as you'll ever see. Little Joe had Smith all over him. Believe me, he was right there. But he got rid of the ball, just a quick flip. He threw it in the dirt. Give Howell credit. He pulled it out for the double play and ends the inning. Now Houston in their 7th will have the top of the batting order. At the plate in the first with Terry Poole. It's 7th inning stretch time. The final game of the year in the National League. And the score is the Phillies 2 and Houston 2.
Astrodome in Houston. It's all even at 2 apiece. We're sailing into the last half of the 7th inning, and Philadelphia has made a couple of changes. Larry Christensen is on the mound to do the pitching, the tall right-hander who started the other day. And in left field, Greg Gross. So take Brewster and Smith out of the ball game. Christensen batting in the number 4 spot. And Gross batting in the number 9 spot. So that means that Gross will be the number 3 hitter in the top of the 8th inning. But in the bottom of the 7th, the Houston Astros have the lead man, Terry Poole, going up against Larry Christensen, the tall right-hander. Christensen got the start the other day and didn't do too bad a job. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, and allowed no runs, and he was taken out, and eventually Tug McGraw was hung with the loss. That was a game won in 11 innings by Houston, 1-0. What a game that was. We got another one going here now. Last half of the 7th. Phillies 2 runs, 5 hits. Houston 2 runs, 7 hits. Terry Poole the batter, Larry Christensen the pitcher. Here's Jack Buck.
Christensen worked those 6 innings in the game Friday afternoon. That was the game which ended with Houston winning by the score of 1-0 in 11 innings. And the top of the order is up. Terry Poole. He's had 2 singles in this game, stole a base, scored a run. And he had a double and a walk against Christensen on Friday. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. First pitch, off the plate inside, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Tied 2-2. Christensen wheels it home, a swing and a foul, rolling back into the Houston dugout. Ball and a strike. What a fun series this has been.
Jack, do you smell the 4th extra inning game in a row on the way? Could be.
Could happen, although Houston has the top of the order up here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Ed Barker, the plate umpire, on that foul at the plate may have been hit. And we're checking out now to find out just exactly what happened. He went into the Houston dugout. Doug Harvey, the senior umpire on the field, although he's down the right field line, is in to check it out as well. And now let's go to Jack, and we'll throw some football scores your way.
These are all finals. Baltimore defeated Buffalo 17-12. It was Cincinnati 17 and Pittsburgh 16. A tie game, Green Bay and Tampa Bay 14-all. The Eagles over the New York Giants, 31-16. The New England Patriots shut out Miami, 34-0. Dallas trampled the 49ers, 59-14. It was Minnesota 13, the Chicago Bears 7. It was the Rams 21, the Cardinals 13. Cleveland defeated Seattle 27-3. Kansas City edged the Houston Oilers 21-20. Detroit won another. They beat New Orleans 24-13. It was the Jets 14 and Atlanta 7. And Oakland over San Diego 38-24. Tomorrow night, the Redskins at Denver will be on the air here on CBS Radio at 8:50 Eastern Time with Dick Stockton starting things off. Hank Stram and I with the story of the game, and then Brent Musburger will join us at halftime, and Ed Fargo is coming back to resume his chore at home plate.
Tuesday, November the 4th is Election Day, as every American knows. You still have time to consider candidates and the issues before you vote. And then on election night, hear your vote count. Go with comprehensive CBS News election night coverage on the CBS Radio Network. Charles Osgood and Reed Collins will co-anchor and bring in reports from many CBS News correspondents across the country. Election night coverage, Tuesday, November the 4th on CBS Radio.
Jerry, I know what happened to Ed Fargo. He has a bad finger on his right hand. He was struck with a foul tip. And he had a badly injured finger, and surgery did not make it any better, and it's continued to be a troublesome problem for him. And I think he was struck again by that foul off the bat of Terry Poole, and I'm sure it really hurt him.
Well, whatever. You can't concentrate on pain if you're the umpire. You got to be free of that. Apparently he's okay, Jack, so let's go back.
Christensen pitching to Terry Poole, and it dips low, ball 2. 2-1, Poole leading off, bottom of the 7th. We're tied 2-2. The final game of the National League season. Next pitch. There's another hit for Terry Poole. Into right, he singles, leading off. And that's the 3rd time in this game he has started an inning with a base hit.
If Houston should score, it'll be interesting to find out whether or not Nolan Ryan can keep that record intact. They say that Ryan will finish 90% of the games when he's ahead in the 8th and 9th inning. Let's see how it develops here, because the Philadelphia Phillies have gone through 7, and Ryan has 2 more to go. If Houston should score, it should be a classic windup.
Poole now has 9 base hits to lead them all on both clubs in total number of hits. He's had 9 out of 17. He's batting better than .500. And another pitcher will warm up. Ron Reed for Philadelphia. Cabell's the batter, and everybody's looking for the bunt. Here's the pitch. He's got a bunt. He does. It's a good one. Rose gets it. Goes to first. Out. The sacrifice is good. Trio took the throw.
The bunt by Enos Cabell very nearly rolled up the arm of Pete Rose. He barehanded it and just did hang on to make the play at first. But the drama is down at second base, and mighty Joe Morgan, who has not had a base hit but has hit the ball well, is moving in to do some work with that bat here to see what he can do to try to break the tie. It's all even at 2.
Morgan now, and failing to drive in the run, Cruz next. If they pitch to both of them, they'd like to get Morgan out and then walk Cruz. You can bet on that. The lead run is on at second with 1 out. Terry Poole, he can run like the wind. The batter, Morgan, a likely hero. Let's see what he does. First pitch from Christensen coming. Strike call. Good fastball. Christensen, remember, pitched 6 innings as the starter Friday afternoon, late Friday afternoon. Houston trying to regain the lead. Here's the pitch to Joe Morgan. Swinging a foul, and he had a good cut with that strike 2. Houston scored a run on the first. Single by Poole, a stolen base, a double by Cruz. Phillies grabbed the lead in the 2nd inning. 1 out, single by Trio, walk to Maddox, and a 2 out, 2-run single by Bob Boone. Houston regained the lead in the 6th. A 2-base error by Luzinski, and a pinch single by Alan Ashby. And we're tied 2-2. A runner at second, 1 out. The 0-2 pitch to Morgan, a swing and a ground ball to Smith. He gets it, Throws to first. The runner stays at second, and there are 2 out. And it's up to Cruz, and will they pitch to him? I don't know.
Behind him, there's another left-hand batter, Dennis Walling. But, Jack, you mentioned something before the game about what these extra 2 games meant to the 2 clubs from a dollar standpoint. A lot of money out there.
They're going to walk Cruz. They don't want him to beat them. He drove in 91 runs during the regular season, drove in a run in this game. He also, with a double, he also reached on a walk and reached on an error. They're going to put him on. This will be the 3rd pass handed out to the Houston club. 2 by Bystrom, the starter. And it'll put Denny Walling at the plate. I said that Morgan was a likely hero, but he grounded out. Here's an unlikely hero in Denny Walling.
Denny Walling in this ballgame bounced to second, lined hard to right field, and he hit the ball that Greg Lazinski had kicked off his glove for a 2-base error and scored the tying run on the 6th. And now he's got a chance to put him ahead with a base hit.
He's hit the ball hard 3 times. He has no hit. Trio took a hit away from him. And Walling lined out to Bake McBride in deep right. And then he reached on the error off Luzinski's glove. Time call by the 3rd base umpire. A bullpen ball is on the field as Ron Reed is warming up for Philadelphia. So the lead run is on at second with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Houston now has 8 hits, the Phillies 5. The Phillies have made 2 errors, and one of them really hurt them. Now the pitch to Denny Walling, the left-handed batter. A line drive, base hit into right. Here comes Poole, trying to score. Throw home, too late. Houston leads. Cruz goes to third as Denny Walling puts Houston on top 3-2. On top by a single marker. They'd like to make it more. If they can get one more run, they might be able to fill it up the way Ryan has been pitching. Phillies went to one of their best, Larry Christensen. He came on, was bagged for a base hit by Poole. Houston is only 6 outs away from the National League title. They also have Art Howe up there now, who's been on at first and third and 2 out. They could steal a run. Cruz is at third, Walling at first to pitch. Howe takes the ball in the dirt. Here's the runner trying to score. He is saved on a wild pitch. It's 4-2. Didn't hesitate. That ball bounced away. It bounced high. It might have confused some runners, but not Cruz. He came roaring home. Boone had tried to block the ball and keep it out in front of him. It rolled up his arm and went high and went back to the screen. And Walling, who will be Mr. Houston if Houston wins it, went down to second base. And the Phillies are going to take Christensen out in favor of Ron Reed, and this Astrodome is actually shaking as this capacity crowd roars its approval of the goings-on.
I was wondering about the structural failure of this place because you could feel our broadcast booth absolutely vibrating. It was absolutely vibrating. So, Houston needs 6 more outs to win it all, but they needed 6 more outs yesterday to win it all.
You know, Jerry, some baseball managers detest the intentional walk, and they won't give it to anybody. The Dodgers are one. They always have a very, very low total of intentional walks. With 2 out, they walk Cruz to pitch to Walling, but nobody can second-guess that move by Dallas Green, even though Walling did come through with a base hit. And Ron Reed is into the ballgame. He He was the winner yesterday when the Phillies rallied, and they'll have to rally here this evening. While this new pitcher is warming up, let's pause for this.
We use things. Love.
And Howell swings, lines one to deep right center. An extra base hit. Another run is home. Houston leads 5-2, and Art Howell has a triple. Art Howell slammed one in the gap. His first RBI of this playoff series, and he sends Denny Walling home from second base. All three of the runs charged to Larry Christensen. The first pitch by Reed, and Howell walloped it into right center field. He's replaced by a pinch runner. Ron Bergman is down at third base running for Art Howell, and Alan Ashby's coming on. He's the seventh batter in this inning. Now a foul by Alan Ashby. Ashby was an earlier hero when he came off the bench and singled home a run in the sixth inning to tie it. Bergman on at third with 2 outs, 5-2 Houston, a half swing by Ashby, strike 2 call. Don't count the Phillies out. They can make runs, and lots of them in a big hurry. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, blocked by Boone. Bergman on at third, 2 outs. Houston with 10 hits. They've out-hit the Phillies 10-5, and they've scored 3 times here in the 7th to lead 5-2. They're in their first playoff ever, and it looks like they're headed for their first pennant ever. Ashby swings and a high fly ball behind third. Fair ball is in. The left fielder Gross is under it and has it, and the inning is over. Listen to this crowd. In every inning, and they have stranded 8. Nolan Ryan back to the mound, and after 7, it's Houston 5, Philadelphia 2.
Into the 8th inning, the Philadelphia Phillies, with their back squarely to the wall, need 3 runs to tie it and 1 to go ahead, and they have 6 outs to do it. Larry Boa, Bob Boone, and Greg Gross are scheduled hitters against Nolan Ryan. Ryan has allowed 2 runs. They came in the 2nd inning. A single by Manny Trio, a walk to Gary Maddox. They advanced on a ground ball to the pitcher, and then came in on Bob Boone's single. Houston had gone ahead in the 1st inning on a single by Poole and a double by Cruz. They tied it up in the 6th on a 2-base error by Greg Lazinski and a single by Alan Ashby. But then in the 7th inning, with Larry Christensen pitching, Terry Poole singled, sacrificed the second with 2 down. An intentional pass to Jose Cruz brought up Dennis Walling, who drilled a single to right for 1 run. A triple by Howe got another one in, and before the dust had cleared, after a wild pitch, Houston has 3 runs on the board, and they lead it 5-2. 5 runs, 10 hits for the Astros, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Phillies. Let's bring in Jack Buck.
Larry Ball leads off, and the first pitch is low, ball 1 from Nolan Ryan. Phillies have had only 1 base runner in the last 3 innings. Here's a strike call. And Nolan Ryan has faced the minimum in 6 of 7 innings. Phillies have hit into 2 double plays. Houston leads 5-2, Boa leading off. Line drive, base hit over the glove of Reynolds, the shortstop. And here come the Phillies. And as I said, don't count them out. They can make some runs and make them in a hurry. The batter is Bob Boone. The only thing they have going against them now, Jerry, is that 3-run deficit. And the fact that they have to swing away. They can't play any strategic baseball. And so they make themselves vulnerable to the double play, and Houston has already pulled off 2 of those.
The Philadelphians have got to get moving, and down to the bullpen. Joe Zambito, the left-hander who was in there yesterday.
Batter Bob Boone hits it back off the glove of Ryan, and he's going to beat it out. Cabell throws too late, and the tying run will come to the plate, and didn't that happen in a hurry? Greg Gross, batting in the 9th spot, will come up. Boone singles off the glove of Nolan Ryan. And the excitement continues in this fantastic baseball game.
Kenny Force is also going down there to help out Joe Zambito. So manager Bill Burton has the right-hander and the left-hander ready to go if he needs it. But right now, as Jack told you, the tying run has come to the plate. Nobody out. Don't go away. Phillies are trailing by 3. They need some runs in quickly. It's the 8th inning.
Earlier, Greg Luzinski got a hit leading off the 7th. They ran for him and then put Gross in the outfield and batted him 9th. And he's up there. He's not a power hitter. He's not likely to tie the game, but he makes contact. Here's the pitch, and he bunts, and he's going to beat it out, I believe. Grabbed by Ryan, no play, bases loaded, nobody out, and a perfect bunt down the third base line, and here comes Pete Rose.
Oh, man. I got to tell you, Zach, I have never seen anything quite like this when it looked as though the Phillies were dead yesterday. They were...
Third base line, and here comes Pete Rose.
Oh, man. I got to tell you, Zach, I have never seen anything quite like this when it looked as though the Phillies were dead yesterday. They were trailing 2-0. Then they came up with 3 runs to move ahead in the 8th inning, and they're at them again.
The Phillies send Doug McGraw down to the bullpen. Greg Gross, as I said, is no threat to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So he said, all right, I'll get the hit and let somebody else do it. That's the kind of ball player he is. You can't criticize him for bunting, and the fact that he beat it out takes away all possible criticism. One thing I wanted to mention, Warren Brewster finished an inning, and then they brought Christensen in fresh. That's the way the Phillies use Brewster. Right, Jerry?
Just to kill the inning, and he did an excellent job getting out of it. But right now, Nolan Ryan has all he wants. Bases loaded, nobody out.
And I'm surprised Ryan is still out there. Bases loaded and nobody out, and Rose swings and fouls it back here, strike 1. They have fresh pitchers in Zambito and Forsh out in the bullpen, and if they were to bring in Zambito, Rose would have to bat right-handed, and he is less effective from that side of the plate and more of a possibility for a double play. But he stays in there and bats with the tying runs on in the 8th. Houston leading 5-2. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's high. A single by Boyd. A single off the glove of Ryan by Boone. A bunt single by Greg Gross. And the Phils have the tying runs on base. Nobody out. 8th inning, 1-1 to Rose, the pitch. Up high, ball 2.
The incredible thing about what has happened here in the top of the 8th inning is the speed with which it happened. It's just suddenly, nobody was on. You blinked your eyes, they had 3 men on and nobody out, and they got one of the most dangerous hitters of all time up there, the Philadelphia Phillies, and Pete Rose trying to come back trailing 5-2.
Nolan Ryan behind on the count, brings it home to Rose. Swing and a foul back, and it's 2-2. Third, Boone at second, Gross at first. Gross carrying the tying run has what you would call average speed. Good speed, but just average. And 2-2 on Rose, who has struck out, singled, and lined back to the pitcher 1 out of 3. 8 hits in the playoffs. Houston leading 5-2. Ryan with another. Rose with the bases loaded. A ball low in the dirt. He held up ball 3. A full count of 3-2. Isn't this something? In the bottom of the 7th, Houston snapped the tie and got 3 runs. They lead 5-2. 3-2 pitch to Rose with the bases loaded. A swing and a foul. He just got a piece of it. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Ryan almost had it by him. Ryan, you know, is a strikeout pitcher. He didn't get that one by Rose. Pete strolls around outside the batter's box. Tries to figure out what the next pitch will be from the Houston right-hander. Fake McBride waits on deck. Infield back, hopeful of the double play ball. The outfielder around to the left for Rose. Full windup, 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 forces home a run. It was high outside, and it makes it 5-3. And the tying run goes to second, and the lead run to first. And Bill Burton is out of the dugout, and he's going to bring one of his pitchers into this ball game in a big, big jam.
If Joe Zambito comes in, Dallas Green may counter with Keith Moreland, the second-string catcher down there, who's got some pretty good punch and has done a good job as a pinch hitter throughout the year. And it is Zambito coming on. And now Frank LaCourte, a right-hander, along with Ken Force throwing in the Houston bullpen. And here it is, Moreland coming on with the bases loaded, the tying run at second base, the go-ahead run at first. Nolan Ryan getting a hand as the Phillies have started to move back. It's a 5-3 ball game, and what a game this has been. Zambito yesterday was in the game, won by Philadelphia, and he took the loss when he went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs.
But he's not going to pitch to McBride. He has struck McBride out a couple of times in this game, and here comes a Texan to try to ruin the Houston club.
Keith Moreland, right-hand hitting catcher. He's had a pretty good year for the Philadelphia Phillies. He has played behind Bob Boone, but when he's been in there, he's done the job. He comes in with a .314 batting average, 4 homers, 8 doubles, 29 RBIs, and they would love to see a gapper right here. Houston, of course, trying to hang on. So the tension is mounting here. It is incredible.
Nolan Ryan could be the winner, could be the loser. Thus far in the game, he pitched 7 innings, allowed 3 runs, leaves 3 men on and nobody out. He gave 8 hits, he struck out 8, and he just walked his second Philly. McBride is due to be up. He was 0 for 3. 5 out of 21, and he's lifted in favor of Keith Moreland, Philadelphia catcher, played football at the University of Texas, and he comes up in a big spot. In the 8th inning, Philadelphia has scored a run, and they trail by 2. It's 5-3, and Zambito is the pitcher. Ken Force continues to throw in the bullpen. He's joined by Frank LaCourte, and it's Tug McGraw in the bullpen for his ball club.
If, in fact, Zambito gets Moreland, we're liable to see either Force or LaCourte coming on, because Schmidt, and I'm sure coming on to do the hitting for Ron Reed, will be the likes of Del Unser, a left-hand batter. So we'll see how it develops here. In the event they bring in the right-hander.
Yeah, Houston may run out of left-handers down there in the bullpen, too. Moreland is up, a stocky right-handed batter, and he has power. Runs pretty well for a catcher, but you can get him on the double play on a ground ball. And that's what Houston wants now, to strike out to pop up the double play. Moreland wants at least a fly ball to drive home a run. Would like the base hit to tie it or the extra base hit to put him ahead. Strike call. Zambito gets the breaking ball over it.
He also got that pitch high, Jack. That's a dangerous place. You want the ground ball to try to check the runner at third base. At least if it goes to third, you can get him at home. But you want a double play ball. You don't want anybody to score on a sacrifice fly.
Boone at third. Gross, the tying run at second. Rose, the lead run at first. Nobody out. The pitch. Moreland swings, fouls it out of play. Strike 2. Mike Schmidt waits on deck. If Zambito gets him out, Bill Burton just about has to bring either Force or LaCourte in there against Schmidt. Probably Force, the better control pitcher. But Moreland is still at the plate with a strike 2 count. Zambito, the Brooklyn-born left-hander, stands on, looks in, gets the sign from Alan Ashby. Cabell guards the line at third. Cabell, Reynolds, the second baseman Landis-Stoy, and the first baseman Bergman looking for the double play ball. Moreland waits. Strike 2 the count. Bases loaded, nobody out in the pitch. Inside, he drove him off the plate. Landis-Stoy came on after Houston grabbed that 3-run lead in the bottom of the 7th. We're in the 8th, and the Phillies are making a racket. Houston still on top, 5-3. Bases loaded for the Phils. The batter, Keith Moreland. The pitch on the way. He swings and chops it to the right side. A run will score. The play to second out. No other play. That makes it 5-4. Runners on first and third and one out. Moreland just reached for that ball, was fortunate to get a piece of it, and hit into a force out. The play went 4-6. A run batted in for Moreland as Bob Boone crossed the plate, and here comes Bill Burton out of the dugout, and he can hardly let his left-hander pitch to Mike Schmidt. Bill Burton arrives at the mound. He has the choice of Frank LaCourte or Ken Forsch. They're both right-handers. Forsch pitched a terrific game in the opener of this playoff series last Tuesday night, but lost it to Steve Carlton, even though he was the better pitcher, and he's coming in now.
Jack, what a finish of the National League pennant race. This has been absolutely an astounding situation. Houston appeared to have this game wrapped up. They had Nolan Ryan on the mound going into the 8th inning. They needed 6 outs, and suddenly Ryan gave up a single to Boa, a single to Boone, a bunt single to Gross. The bases were loaded. Pedro's got a walk, and the Phillies were in business. And Nolan Ryan, as we mentioned earlier, had a record of finishing so many games in the 8th and 9th inning. Once he got to that point with a lead, it was almost a lock. In this case, that's not the case. So now we've got Ken Forsch out there, a tall right-hander out of Sacramento. He's got the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at first base, and he has to face the most dangerous hitter in the National League this year, Mike Schmidt.
I'll tell you one thing, Jerry. If Schmidt hits the double play ball to the Houston infield, that pivot man is going to get a Texas Longhorn football block from Keith Moreland, who's the runner at first base. Ken Forsch on the hill. Schmidt wants at least the fly ball to tie the game. Men on at first and third with one out here in the top of the 8th, and Gross is the runner at third base. You know, Houston would really be happy to get out of this inning tied.
Whatever or however, Philadelphia is in great shape to tie it up. Jack, we've had 3 tie ball games that won extra innings, the last 3. The only one that didn't was the first, won by Philadelphia 3-1. And there's no reason in the world why this couldn't be another tie ball game. We are in the top of the 8th inning. Houston leading 5-4. The Phillies with runners at the corners and one away. Anything to do to get that runner in from third base, and they can tie it up.
Now they put an infielder, Ramon Aviles, at first base running for Moreland. And Ruben Amaro coaching down there tells him break up the double play and all call. The infield is Cabell, Reynolds, Landestoy, and Bergman. Ashby behind the plate, Forsch on the mound. First and third, one out, top of the 8th. Houston leading 5-4. Greg Gross, the runner at third, the tying run. Aviles, the runner at first, the go-ahead run for Philadelphia, and Forsch is ready. His pitch to Mike Schmidt. Swing and a miss, strike one. And Vito pitched only the third of an inning, and he got the pinch hitter Moreland. A classic contest here in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Cabell is shortened up at third and guards the line with Schmidt at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Here's another one from Bob Forsch, and a swing and a miss. Strike 2 as he kept the ball down around the knee. The on-deck hitter is Del Unser. The pitcher, Ron Reed, is due to bat. First and third with one out, and Schmidt doesn't want to strike out, but he is prone to striking out, as well as prolific at home run hitting with 48. First and third, one out and a 2-strike count. The pitch from Ken Forsch on the way. Strike zone! He's pulled out on strike for the second out of the inning. And Del Unser will be the pinch hitter as Mike Schmidt walks in disconsolate fashion back into the dugout. He had a chance with only a fly ball to tie the game, but he took strike 3.
it to Kenny Forrest. He went in there cool as a cucumber and ripped 3 fastballs by the best hitter in the National League in 1980, and he did it in some fashion. He's not out of the woods yet. He has another man to go. Here's Unser stepping in.
Al Unser from Decatur, Illinois. His dad, a former ball player, Al Unser. He's on the spot. First and third, 2 out. Throws to third. Aviles at first to pitch. Unser swings on a line drive. Base hit ties the game. Aviles goes to third without a play. Unser came through, and we have a 5-5 game as Greg Gross crossed the plate.
Can you believe it? A 5-5 ball game, and all of those runs are charged to Nolan Ryan. That closes the book on Ryan, the pitchers of record at the moment. Ken Forsch on the mound for the Houston Astros. Ron Reed for the Philadelphia Phillies. Runners still at the corners, and we're waiting to find out what Manny Trio can do in a critical spot. Philadelphia charging back in the 8th inning, have tied it at 5. Incredible.
Well, you can reach for all the adjectives that you've ever known or heard or read, but nothing will do to describe this contest. And now Philadelphia, with Manny Trio up against Ken Forsch, could grab the lead. And as I said earlier, Houston would be rather happy to get out of this inning tied. Tug McGraw will be the Philadelphia pitcher in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Trio. Swinging a foul, strike 1. Trio has had 2 hits already today. 2 for 3. Ron Reed, who's out of the game, gave up that 3-base hit to Art Howe. Pitched the third of an inning and then allowed that 1 hit. All 5 Philadelphia runs charged to Nolan Ryan. Here's another pitch to Trio. Swinging a line right into left. Is fair into the corner. Philadelphia leads 6-5. Here comes Unser around third, and he'll score. Philadelphia leads 7-5. Trio into third, head first, safe with a triple, driving in 2 runs, and Philadelphia has scored 5 times here in the 8th inning, and that could make a loser out of Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan put 4 men on base in this inning, including the walk to Pete Rose that got him out of here, so he could be the loser. As Ken Forsch got Schmidt, but the pinch hitter Unser picked him up with an RBI single. And Manny Trio gets his 3rd hit of the ball game, and the Houston crowd is stunned.
Jack, I don't know what to say. The Houston Astros have been that close to wrapping up the National League pennant 2 games in a row, and Philadelphia refuses to die, and now the shoe is on the other foot. Houston has to come back.
The 9th man to bat in the inning is Gary Maddox, 0 for 2 with a walk, and now they throw to third with an appeal play, but the umpire says no, that the runners, neither one of them, missed third base. The runners Aviles and Unser. Now here comes Bill Burton out of the dugout again. Ken Forsch on the mound. He struck out Mike Schmidt and appeared to be out of it, but he couldn't get the left-handed batter Unser. And Unser drove in. A big run with a base hit. And then Manny Trio snapped the tie with a 2-run triple. And Burton just talks it over with Ken Forsch, and he'll pitch the 9th man to bat in the inning, Gary Maddox, with a runner Trio on at third base and 2 out. Now Philadelphia jumping up and down in the dugout. They're acting like they want it, but they still have to get Houston out 2 more innings.
Well, the Phillies waited 5 ball games to put together a real flourish, and they've done it here in the top of the 8th inning to go ahead 7-5 in this final game.
Gary Maddox at the plate, 0 for 2 with a walk, and the first pitch from Ken Forsch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. A runner at third and 2 out. Oh, Ron Reed got the win yesterday, and he could be the winner again today if the score stays as is. A foul by Maddox. Let's pause 5 seconds. for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network. Next one to Maddox with a runner at third, a swing and a foul back near the stands and out of play. In the Houston eighth inning, and they'll trail by at least 2, it will be Reynolds to lead it off. And then the pitcher due to hit. Force trying to get out of this eighth inning. Brings it home to Gary Maddox. Swing and a corker into center field, high into the air for Terry Poole. He'll get it. He does. The inning is over. But 9 men went to the plate for Philadelphia. Down by 3 at the start of the inning. They rallied to score 5 times on 5 hits. A big walk in the inning, and 1 man left. Philadelphia has only stranded 2 men in the game while hitting into 2 double plays and losing a man stealing. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Tug McGraw will be the pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. And going in, the score is Philadelphia 7 and Houston 5.
From the Houston Astrodome, a stunned crowd of over 44,000 people sit in stone silence as Tug McGraw, for the 5th time in the 5 games, is out there to try to keep it in the Philadelphia side. If you just tuned in, Houston got 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to go ahead 5-2, and then the Phillies stormed back for 5 in the top of the 8th inning. They now lead it 7-5. Philadelphia 7 runs, 10 hits. The Astros 5 runs and 10 hits. Houston will send up Craig Reynolds. It looks like Woods is in the on-deck circle, and then Terry Poole against the left-handed Tug McGraw. So McGraw, who has 2 saves in this series thus far, will try to get the key 3rd save. And I'll say one thing, Jack Buck, when whomever gets to wherever they're going in Kansas City or here or whatever, they may not have any pitching left.
Right now, it looks like Kansas City will be going to Philadelphia. But Houston has 6 more outs, and they have this big home crowd rooting them on. Buck McGraw's on the hill. Craig Reynolds leads it off. He's had 1 out of 3. Philadelphia has kept their lineup rather well intact. Except in right field, where Del Unser takes over. Here is a ball high. The Unser, who pinch hit, stays in the ball game in the number 4 spot. And McGraw is batting second where McBride was. Ball 1 high. Strike call. Houston just needs a man on base to have a chance. They trail 7-5. Reynolds doubled his first time up. He's 1 for 3. He's a left-handed batter. McGraw, a left-handed pitcher, who frequently is more effective against right-handed batters because of the screwball he possesses. Schmidt is in at third. It's the leadoff man in the bottom of the 8th. The Phillies lead 7-5. Boone gives the sign. And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball and a swing and a miss. And McGraw had some mustard on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Astros are down to their final 5 outs. The hits even at 10 apiece. Phillies 2 errors. One of them loomed very large earlier. Not so large now. The error by Luzinski. Reynolds the batter. Gary Woods next. And then Terry Poole. They're good hitters will bat. Talking about Houston before this game is over. Here's the pitch to Reynolds. Swing and a broken background ball up the middle. Second baseman gets it, and no play. A base hit for Reynolds. Rio to his right, grabbed the ball. A broken background ball, but he couldn't make a play, and the tying run will come up. Jack, I wouldn't bet on anything anymore as Woods, the right hand hitting outfielder, is in the on-deck circle. He'll be coming on. He'll be batting for the pitcher, Kenny Force, and let's see what happens here. Gary Woods will bat for four. Fourth pitch, 2/3 of an inning. Was charged with a run, gave 2 hits, struck out 1 and walked none. The batter is Gary Woods, a right-handed hitter against Buck McGraw. And the omnipotent Terry Poole waits on deck. Rose will hold against the runner. This has been a remarkable baseball game and series. 7-5, Phillies lead, bottom of the 8th. Runner at first, nobody out. Tying run at the plate, Gary Woods. The pitch from McGraw. Curveball strike call. He drifted one in there. Again, Schmidt guards the line at third against the extra base hit. Throws deep and left with Woods at the plate. Here it comes. Curveball fouled back on the screen, and he was leveling off, trying for the long ball. All during the weekend, over the weekend, CBS Radio's top sportscasters bring you timely and lively information on what's happening. Win Elliott, Jim Kelly, Brent Musburger, Ron Weber, Bill Schweitzer, Howard David, and Dick Stockton. Hear them on CBS, your #1 radio network for sports. 2 quick strikes on the batter. McGraw had 2 strikes on Reynolds and let him get off the hook. Roast in left, Manox in center, and Unser in right for Philadelphia. Unser never delivered a bigger pinch hit than he did in the last half inning. Gary Woods has to guard the plate. They like to jam him, keep the ball in on him. The pitch coming. Swing and a foul, and he had a pretty good rip at that one. He knocked it back on the string. Houston has had men on base in every inning. They've left men on base in every inning. They have stranded 8. The Phillies have left only 2 on, but they've hit into 2 double plays and lost a man stealing. Hasn't been much running in this game. Phillies lead 7-5 in the bottom of the 8th. 1 on and nobody out. The pitch. Curve. Strike called. Woods was caught looking. Or it might have been the screwball. Tough to tell from this vantage point. What do you think, Jerry?
I think it might have been Jack. The screwball broke away from the youngster. He's just up from Tucson, and he's not used to that kind of pitching. You don't see that kind of a screwball in the minor leagues. But one comment about Chuck McGraw, they claim he has more trouble against left-hand hitters than right-handers. And we've got Poole, Morgan, Cruz, Walling, and Bergman with Cabell shot in there. So there are a lot of left-handers coming after McGraw if he stays in there.
Terry Poole has 3 hits today. He has scored twice. Hits it hard for his 4th hit into right field. The runner around second and goes to third without a play, and the tying runs are on with 1 out for Enos Cabell. Terry Poole is 4 for 5, and he has 10 hits in the playoffs.
Terry Poole, I'll tell you, that young man, he wants it. And so do the Houston Astros. I don't know what to say, Jack. It has been an incredible game, an incredible series.
One little inside baseball item. The ball got by Pete Rose because he was holding against the runner Reynolds. Now the question is, should he have been holding against the runner with Philadelphia leading 7-5?
Well, let's put it this way. Reynolds is not a fast man. The chance of his running are a little remote, but we're only in the 8th inning. And the 9th inning is they play back and do what you want to do. But in a spot like this, they maybe wanted to make sure they could get a double play. But as it turned out, it may be a costly play.
Houston is still alive, but still trailing 7-5. A couple of hits against Tug McGraw. Runners on at first and third with 1 out, and Cabell at least wants to get the runner home from third. He's had a hit today, 1 out of 3. Tying run is Poole at first base. McGraw looks over. Pitches. Cabell swings and misses. Strike 1. McGraw is not really good at holding runners close to first. For a left-handed pitcher, that is. And Poole is a very, very good base stealer. But he can't afford to take off. With Houston trailing by 2, it's 7-5. He takes his lead. Boone gives the sign. Tying runs at first and third for the Astros. Bottom of the 8th, 7-5 Philadelphia. The pitch to Cabell, fastball, fouled away, strike 2. Back to the right as he failed to get around on a Tug McGraw fastball.
Another story developing in the on-deck circle if he gets up there. Rafael Landeskog is a much better hitter right-handed than left-handed, about 100 points better. So he'll have the advantage against Tug McGraw, left-hander, if he gets a shot at him.
Phillies looking for the double play ball to end the 8th inning. McGraw quickly ahead of Enos Cabell. 7-5 Phils. They lead in the bottom of the 8th. The runners lead away at first and third, and the pitch coming. Low inside, ball 1. Every pitch now is momentous. In the seesaw game, Houston got a run in the first, the Phillies 2 in the second. Houston tied it in the 6th, took the lead in the 7th by 3. And the Phillies got 5 in their 8th to lead 7-5. And time is called by the right field umpire. Bullpen ball is on the field.
The umpires down the line, Fleming in left field and Harvey in right field, are getting a pretty good workout. The balls have been getting loose. Both bullpens are going, and several balls have been scooting down the lines in left field and right field.
Frank LaCorte is warming up for Houston. He'll pitch the 9th. Kevin Sochet and Dickie Knowles are warming up for the Phillies. Houston has McGraw on the rope. First and third, 1 out. The pitch to Cabell. Fastball, strike called. He was caught looking. Cabell was caught looking for the second out of the inning and the second strikeout for McGraw. And it's smack up to Rafael Landeskog at the moment. And he's not the power hitter that Cabell is.
Jack, there's nothing that'll drive you up the wall more than to take a called third strike in a spot like that where the entire pennant in the game and the season is on the line. And both Woods and Cabell caught looking.
Rafael Landeskog batting for the first time, having replaced Joe Morgan at second base. You're familiar with what Philadelphia has done in championship play. They got into the World Series in 1915 and lost to the Red Sox 4-1. They got into the series in 1950 and lost to the Yankees 4-0 and haven't been there since. 1950. First and third, 2 out. Landeskog batting right-handed. First 1 to him. Swing and a miss, and he swung hard and missed for strike 1.
Say one thing, Jack. McGraw must know Landeskog. He kept the ball down. Rafael likes it up. He likes the ball out, up, and over the plate. He got that ball down and in, and that's where you have to pitch it.
Infielders are back. The third baseman guards the line. Rolls, holds against the runner at first. That's Terry Poole, the tying run. Here's another pitch to Rafael Landeskog. Curve low, a ball, 1-1. I guess I stopped calling curveballs or screwballs. It's really tough for us to tell, for me to tell from this angle, except for the speed of the pitch. Suffice to say it was a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Landeskog. 2 on, 2 out. McGraw steps off, fakes the throw to first, but doesn't throw. Houston trying to battle back. They blew a 3-run lead in the 8th, and the Phillies got 5. Numerous heroes on both clubs. A check on the runner. The pitch to the plate. Landeskog hits a curve, a line drive, base hit to left. That makes it 7-6, and the tying run goes to second. A hanging breaking ball, and Landeskog makes it a 1-run game and brings to the plate the most prolific of all the Houston hitters, Jose Cruz.
Jack, Tug McGraw did everything right until that last pitch, and he just hung the ball right up in the letters. Landeskog likes it up there, nailed it to left field for a base hit. Houston back in business, 7-6, 2 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Wow.
Remarkable. Cruz has been on base 4 times. He doubled home and run in the first. He walked in the second, reached on an error in the 5th, was given a walk in the 7th. That backfired. And he's up with 2 on, 2 out. The tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first, and the pitch from McGraw on the way. Breaking ball, strike called. He got it in there.
The amazing thing about this game is they have dug the grave for both of these clubs several times, and neither one of them will climb in.
The infielders are all deep. They want to knock that ball down, if nothing else. The outfielder out to the left for Cruz. Their big RBI man, 2 on, 2 out. A breaking ball in the dirt. Scooped by Boone. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-6 the score now, folks. With the Phillies on top in the bottom of the 8th. The Astros now have 13 hits. The latest final land destroy. Kept the inning going and made it a 1-run ball game. The Phillies' best relief roller, Tug McGraw, is on the hill. 1-1 to Cruz, the left-handed batter, and the pitch coming. Over the low with a fastball. Ball 2. 2-1. On-deck hitter, another left-handed batter, Denny Walling.
Doug McGraw has been in all 5 ball games. He must be doing it from memory. He's got to have a tired arm.
He's given 3 hits in this inning. Reynolds, Poole, and Landeskog. The pitch to Cruz, fastball, fouled back here, and it's 2-2, and he had a rip at that one. And now it's 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the Phillies leading 7-6 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And we're really tickled that the folks in American Forces Radio are tuned in to our CBS broadcast. I doubt that the football game tomorrow night in Denver will be this exciting no matter what happens.
Jack, I think both these teams, whomever gets into the World Series, may have trouble getting up for the World Series. After a playoff like this, 3 extra-inning ball games, all tight, all tense, going down to the wire like this, totally incredible and a delight to watch.
This is one of the real beauties of the game of baseball for the spectators and the performers alike. The one-on-one confrontation here between McGraw and Cruz. You either do or you don't. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitcher and catcher talked it over, and now we're ready. Here is the pitch. Swing and a foul back on a ball up and in. Back to the screen it went. Poole carrying the tying run at second. A very good runner. They won't throw him out if the ball gets into the outfield. And Landeskog, who can also scoot, is the go-ahead run at first. This place would come tumbling down if Cruz does something valuable for the Astros. Jose waits. Crouches over the plate. Bat held high. McGraw ready with a new ball. Brings it home, and a swing and a base hit into center. Here comes Poole to score. The game's tied. Landeskog to third. No play. 7-7 here in the bottom of the 8th. Isn't this the darndest baseball game ever played? Well, he didn't hit it hard. He just hit it right. A looping, sort of soft line drive into straightaway center field. Maddox got the ball, could do nothing with it. And now Dallas Green is coming out, and that may be all for Chuck McGraw, who's given up 4 hits and 2 runs. The winning run, the go-ahead run, the potential winning run. Landeskog at third base. At first base, Cruz. A lot of speed on the bases. Another hanging breaking ball to a left-handed batter. Cruz dumped it into center. Maddox had no play on either Poole, who scored the tying run, or Landeskog, who went to third. Another left-handed batter is up, and McGraw is going to stay in, even though he has given 4 base hits in this inning, 2 of them after 2 men were out. Dallas Green is staying with Tug McGraw, who's been touched up for 2 runs and 4 hits. Dennis Walling, the left-hander, steps in. He could win it for Houston. In case you're wondering, Dallas Green knows that if he brings in the other left-hander, Kevin Crochet, Houston has right-handed batters on the bench like Jeff Leonard, so he prefers to have McGraw pitching to Walling, a left-handed hitter. First and third, 2 out, high, ball 1. Walling onto the second, lined out hard to right, reached on an error, scored a run in the 6th, and single homer run in the 7th inning that snapped a 2-2 tie. He could snap another tie here in the bottom of the 8th. Swings, hits it hard on the ground to Boy. He has it. forced out at second base, and the inning is over. And now this National League season has not only gone down to the final game of the year, it's gone down to the final inning of the year. A forced out, 6-4, and the ball hit by Walling. 2 runs for Houston to tie on 4 hits. They lead 2. They have stranded 10. And after 8 in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, with Frank McCourty coming in to pitch for Houston, we are tied. It's Philadelphia 7 and Houston 7.
It was an empty rooming house, midday. No one around but some mangy cats lazing on the stoop. It was good to be home. I've been chasing down high blood pressure, an accomplice to the big ones, heart attack and stroke, in an all-night spree. I'm Sam Hart, private detective. I climbed the stairs to the second floor, rounded the corner, and froze. One door, mine, was left unlocked, standing open to the hall. I leaned on the door jamb, surveying the premises. The room was untouched. No sign of forced entry. Nothing missing. But it made me think of that character I was tracking last night. High blood pressure. The silent killer. You can't lock that one out. Never could. He's the relentless type. Hits without warning. Anytime, any place, any person. The only protection is getting your blood pressure checked regularly. If it's high, you can nab this character in time with medicine and proper diet. To get more information, call my client, the American Heart Association. They're fighting for your life.
The understatement of the year has been to remind you that this has been an exciting baseball season. Well, don't you wish that you and your family got to see more of the games? They've been fantastic. How many times have you said, man, I wish we had tickets to that one? Well, now's the time to do something about it. Now's the time to make sure that you and your family don't miss out on next season's exciting game. Call your favorite team and ask about 1981 season tickets. I'm sure they'll have a ticket plan to fit your needs. Do it now and join the nearly 43 million fans this year who enjoyed Major League Baseball at the ballpark. Baseball fever. Catch it now for 1981. And don't go away. We still got it right here. The preceding has been brought to you on behalf of Major League Baseball. Okay, Jack Buck, it isn't over yet. One more dramatic inning or more. 7-7 tie, ninth inning, the final game of the National League season.
Frank McCourty pitches to Larry Boa. Way high, ball 1. We're underway in the 9th inning, tied 7-7. 7-10-2 for the Phillies, 7-14-0 for the Astros. Boa started the 5-run rally in the 8th. Leads off in the 9th and takes the strike, and it's 1-1. It will be Boa, Boone, and Gross for the Phils. Dave Smith is in the bullpen for Houston. There's a high foul out of play by Boa. That puts him in the hole, 1-2. In the 9th inning for the Astros, it'll be Bergman, Ashby,
Reynolds.
Discussion.
I don't know who's going to win that right now, but whoever wins it, you may see the wildest celebration in the history of the National League.
And if Houston wins it, 45,000 will join them in the celebration. It's Larry Boa leading off. He's had 1 hit today, batting left-handed, and he swings and shoots it into left center. That ball is going to be a hit in front of Cruz. Knocks it down. A base hit for Boa, leading off here in the 9th inning. Cruz had no chance to catch it, though he was playing shallow.
Jack, I don't think Boa could have thrown anything out there that could have landed in front of Cruz. He hit it better than he could throw it. The only spot that he could find a base hit, he found.
Funny thing what speed does in this game. Reynolds had shortened up a bit at shortstop to guard against the chopper in that direction. Couldn't get back to help out. And even though Cruz was playing shallow, he couldn't get there. Boone might be bunting. He bunts hard to Bergman. He looks at second, throws to first, out. The sacrifice is good. The lead run is at second base for Philadelphia here in the 9th inning. And the batter will be Greg Gross, the left-handed batter, so things work out well for the Phillies in the matchup left and right.
You mentioned speed. Only a Larry Boa or someone with good speed would have gotten to second base. Bergman was a little late getting in. I think the play developed too quickly for him because that ball was punted fairly hard. He still had no play at second.
He wasn't as aggressive as some left-handed throwing first baseman might have been. And now Philadelphia could grab the lead. Gross Gross is 1 for 1. He had a bunt single. Bowles at second, one out, and the pitch is a strike call and a slider. And guess who's on deck? Pete Rose. He always shows up. He's always in the middle of it. LaCourte pitching to Greg Gross, the left-handed batter. Opposite field hitter. He fouls it off to the opposite field. Strike two.
I would say that Frank LaCourte had his work cut out for him. He's got Gross and Rose. After that, McGraw is a scheduled hitter. I'm sure we'll see a pinch hitter coming. Say that Frank LaCourte had his work cut out for him. He's got Gross and Rose. After that, McGraw is a scheduled hitter. I'm sure we'll see a pinch hitter coming off the bench, possibly Vukovic.
Ruthven starts to warm up again for the Phillies. Earlier was Dickie Knowles and then Kevin Soche. Lead run at second, one out, top of the ninth. Score tied 7-7. 2 strikes the count on Gross. He has to guard the plate. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a hard hit ball to Bergman. The runner goes to third. The batter's out at first, 2 out. And it's up to Rose as far as the Phillies are concerned. Unless they want to put him on and take their chances with Mike Smith, what would you do, Mr. Manager?
Well, I think I'd get rid of Rose and find out whether or not a pinch hitter like Vukovic could get a base hit. McGraw is the scheduled next hitter, so we'll see what develops.
You're right, it is McGraw next. So they're going to put Rose on base with the intentional walk.
Jack, it's not so much the strategy that you're getting rid of Rose, but the fact that you have a young outfielder who's in his first year in the big leagues coming off the bench. And this is some spot, and there's no question about who you want to hit. Rose, a veteran of many wars, is afraid of nothing, gives under nothing, so you're going to get rid of him. You can only lose by 1 run anyway, and it'll be Vukovic now to see if he can do something momentous in his career.
An unlikely hero, to use the phrase we've employed before. George Vukovic comes off the bench to bat for Doug McGraw. Well, McGraw blew the 2-run lead that he had been given. He pitched 1 inning. He allowed 2 runs, which tied the game 7-7. That's where we stand now. He gave 4 hits. He struck out 2 and walked none. And Dick Ruthven, a very strong performer, will be the new Philadelphia hurler. What will the score be when he goes to the mound in the bottom of the ninth? We're in the top of the ninth. There's a chance for Philadelphia to steal a run. They have the fleet-footed Larry Boa on at third. And Pete Rose at first with 2 out. George Vukovic, the batter, a left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, Frank LaCourte. Every pitch a momentous occasion now. 7-7, top of the ninth. Boa at third. Rose at first, 2 out. Vukovic, the pinch hitter. They play him straight away. LaCourte cannot afford any mistakes. Checks the runners and pitches. Vukovic takes it way high. Mike Schmidt on deck. A remarkable series and topped off by an incomparable ball game here under the dome. 7-7 the score, 2 on, 2 out the pitch. Vukovic takes it low. That's ball 2. Dave Smith in the bullpen for Houston. Philadelphia scored 5 in the 8th, and they looked like they had it. Houston came back and tied it in the bottom of the 8th. They had scored 3 in the 7th. Here's the next pitch to Vukovic. 2 on, 2 out, a swing and a foul as he tried to go to left. They have 2 Vukovic on this ball club. George is up there now, and John, an infielder, is a right-handed batter. There's another Vukovic, Pete, in the league, and none of them are related to one another. First and third, 2 out in the top of the ninth. 7-7 the score, the pitch. Vukovic takes it high, 3-1, and he can dig in now. Ball started it with a single. Boone bunted him over. Gross grounded out. They gave a walk to Pete Rose. And it's 3-1 on the batter. The pitch, swing and a foul out of play to the left, and it's 3-2. So this game goes down, this National League season goes down to the last game. The game goes into the last inning, and now we're down to a 3-2 pitch with 2 on and 2 out. Rose will take off with the pitch. Bergman plays behind him at first. George Vukovich, the batter, with a chance to make a mark for himself. He's played very little for the Phillies. Boa down the line at third. There goes Rose, and a swing and a foul, and we'll do it again as he bounced it down to Ruben Amaro coaching at first.
Manager Dallas Green doesn't have much to worry about as far as strategy is concerned because he is down to his last man. John Vukovich is all he's got left. He's used everybody. So if George up there doesn't do it, and he gets into extra innings, he won't have many moves to make.
Houston still has some players available, including Jeff Leonard, who's swinging a bat in the dugout. We're tied 7-7, top of the ninth. Runners on at first and third, 2 out. The runner goes off first on a 3-2 pitch. Vukovich hits it on the ground to the shortstop Reynolds. Over to first, out. Ending the inning before he got out of it. And now Houston has a chance to win the National League pennant as they come to bat in the bottom of the ninth. In the ninth for Philadelphia, no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. They've stranded 4. Dick Ruthven to the mound for the Phils, a very stout performer. And as we go into the bottom of the ninth, it's Philadelphia 7 and Houston 7.
Hey, do you ever think what it's like to be a tree in a forest? Well, let me tell you, as a tree, I don't get no respect. First come the lovers carving hearts and sweet nothings in your bark. Don't people know that hurts? I mean, just because love is painful for humans, does it gotta be painful for trees too? Then there's the hikers, tearing off our limbs for walking sticks. That's really no respect. Can you imagine if trees went for walks and tore off people's limbs? And how about the campers with their fires? Cigarette smokers flipping their butts everywhere. Don't they care that trees burn easy? Why don't they drown their campfires? Forget smoking for a while. I'll tell you why. They got no respect for us trees. Well, we're tired of getting no respect. So the next time you come into a forest, you better be careful, because those trees become chairs and tables, and we'll give you splinters for revenge. Hey, dog, get out of here, will you?
A public service message on behalf of this station, the Ad Council, your state foresters, the Forest Service, Smokey Bear, and every living thing.
And Rodney Dangerfield.
Dick Ruthven coming on to pitch for the Philadelphia Phillies in a dramatic ball game. He is pitcher number 6 for Philadelphia. Marty Bystrom started it. Warren Brewster, Larry Christensen, Ron Reed, Doug McGraw, and now Dick Ruthven. We are going in to the bottom of the ninth inning. Philadelphia 7 runs, 11 hits. The Astros 7 runs, 14 hits. Dave Bergman, a left-hand batter, coming up against the right-handed Ruthven. And let's see what happens. Last of the ninth inning, all tied up. This is for the flag, the National League Championship.
Bergman, batting for the first time in the game, drove in 2 runs in Wednesday night's game. Against the right-handed pitcher, the left-handed batter takes the strike call, and we're underway in the bottom of the ninth with the score tied 7-7. Well, I'm glad this isn't the first game of a doubleheader. This crowd is wrung out. Bergman takes the ball. The crowd is wrung out, and the game isn't over yet. A ball and a strike. Still, they whoop it up here. Here's the pitch to Dave Bergman. Swing and a hard hit ball to second. Trio has it. Over to first, 1 out. You notice these infielders, they get down on one knee. They make sure they're going to block the ball, Jerry. There's nothing going to get by that shouldn't get by.
Right now, there's nobody out there who needs the ball to make sure he stopped it, and that's exactly what Manny Trio did. He almost sat on that ball.
Alan Ashby is up. He's 1 for 2. He delivered a run with a pinch single in the 6th inning. Ruthven, a big winner this year, brings it home and drops the curveball low inside ball 1. Ashby, a switch hitter, batting left. The on-deck hitter is Reynolds. Next pitch. Swing and a chopper to Trio. He waits, gets a big hop, and flip. 2 out. One more out, and we go into our 4th consecutive extra inning ball game. Why not?
So what's new?
The batter will be Craig Reynolds. He takes a little time before coming up to give LaCourty a breather. Reynolds started the 2-run rally in the 8th inning with a base hit, scored a run. That allowed Houston to tie it. Jose Cruz drove in the tying run with 2 out in the 8th. Ruthven, who's pitching now in relief, thought he was going to start the ball game, thought he deserved to start this ball game. Instead it was Bystrom. The pitch to Reynolds. He's not a power hitter. He shoots it into center, and that'll be caught by Maddox, and we're going to go into extra innings, folks. Down go the Astros, 1, 2, 3, and after 9, we are tied. The Phillies 7, Houston 7.
Hey, George, what's the rush? The next marathon is still a month away.
I know.
Listen, buddy, 5 hours wasn't a bad time for the first 3 miles.
I know.
Well, aren't those combat boots hard to run in?
Oh, they're okay. Once you get a rhythm going. Look, I got to get to the exchange before 5 o'clock. Don't slow me down.
The exchange? What's that, your halfway marker?
No, it's the nearest mail drop. My ballot's got to go out tonight.
Your ballot?
Yeah. There's this politician back home. He's trying to rezone the track field. Turn it into condos. I got to vote against it.
Then let's step it up. It's 2 o'clock now. Hey, George, I wonder what's happening in my hometown.
Don't just wonder. Read your hometown paper. The library may have it, or ask your parents and friends to send you clippings about important news. Keep up on the local and national issues. Remember, you're a voter only if you vote. Be a voter.
At the Houston Astrodome, it's all even at 7. We're going into the 10th inning, and we'll set the stage for you now. There have been multiple changes by both teams. At third base, Enos Cabell is out there. Craig Reynolds is shortstop. Rafael Landeskog at second. Dave Bergman at first. Alan Ashby behind the plate. In the outfield and left, Jose Cruz. Terry Poole in center, and in right field, it is Dave Wood. Well, we'll get everything organized here and get them all in the right place as we go into the 10th inning. And moving in to do some hitting on his own is Mike Schmidt. Mike is 0 for 4 on this one. 5 for 23 in the series. Frank LaCourty, the 4th pitcher for Houston. Out there, the first pitch to Schmidt, a curveball. Good, strike 1. Schmidt fouled to first. He struck out twice, and he popped up to second. Mike had a couple of chances to really do some damage and just couldn't quite get things rolling, especially in that 5-run Philly inning in the 8th. 7-7 tie, 10th inning, the 4th consecutive extra inning ball game. A swing and a miss by Schmidt. Strike 2, no balls and 2 strikes. Cabell right on that line. He's down at third base. Bergman the same at first. LaCourty now checking out his catcher, Ashby. No balls, 2 strikes. Schmidt waits. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him.
LaCourty dropped down sidearm and sent Smith packing, and Mike Schmidt is wearing the collar today, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts.
Mike Schmidt strikes out leading off the top of the 10th inning, and that'll bring on the right fielder, Dale Unser. Unser, veteran ball player, has been around a while, has been an excellent pinch hitter over the years, and he's got some punch. He can find the alleys and go for extra bases if he makes contact. Manny Trio in the on-deck circle. Here's LaCourty. There's a hard shot. First base off the glove of Bergman. Down the line. Could be extra bases. Unser around first. Up with it. There's Woods, and into second base with a double. Dale Unser, and what a key shot that was that handcuffed Bergman.
He goes up there wailing, Unser does, and he's 2 for 2. He drove in a key run in the 8th inning. He drove in the tying run in the 8th inning, and then Manny Trio put Philadelphia on top with a 2-run triple. And now Unser gives Philadelphia a chance to regain the lead. He had a hard smash. Bergman challenged it. It took a bad hop out of the sliding pitch, over his head, and the right fielder made a good play to hold it to a double.
Is that what you call that, the sliding pitch? I'll tell you one thing, it did take a quick hop on him, and he went up with his hands and momentarily blocked his vision going for the ball. It kicked off the top of his glove and down the right field line.
Gary Woods is the right fielder at the moment.
Okay, we're all set to go. Trio waiting. Here's the pitch, and Manny takes high. Ball one. Trio is 3 for 4. 2 singles, a triple, a fly to center field, and 3 RBIs. So he has been productive today as the Phillies are trying to battle back here in the 10th inning and take home the National League pennant. They've been close, but they have not been able to grab it in this championship playoff. There's a curveball, strike 2. Pardon me, make that 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, and there goes Dave Smith in a very quick pace down to the bullpen to get ready if needed. McCourty, the right-hander, fires away. High drive, left center field. After it is Poole. He's got a long run way back there near the warning track and grabs it. Tagging up and heading to third base is Del Unser. So the go-ahead run moves to third with 2 down. We're in the top of the 10th inning. Gary Maddox, the hitter.
Trio already has 3 hits in this game. Made a bid for the long ball, but the right fielder Poole ran under it. So it'll be a battle with 2 out between Frank McCourty and Gary Maddox.
Gary Maddox walked, scored a run, hit into 2 double plays, and flied to center field.
In the Houston 9th inning, it's going to be Woods, Poole, the Houston 10th inning, Woods, Poole, and Cabell against Ruthven.
Gary Maddox, a widespread stance. They're going to make an appeal at second base, saying that he left too soon, but the second base umpire says no. Bob Engel says he left in time. We had a critical play yesterday when Woods left third base too soon and was called out. What a run that was as the game went into extra innings. Philadelphia winning it 5-3, as you know. Had Woods not left a little bit too soon, it would have been a 4-3 Houston victory, but that's the only if, the 2 biggest letters in baseball. There's a drive off center field. It's in for a base hit. Maddox is steaming around first base. He's into second. Coming in to break the tie is Del Unser. The Phillies lead it 8-7.
A screamer, a sinking line drive. Poole had no chance. He had to play at a respectable depth with Gary Maddox up there, and the ball sunk in there in front of him, hit about a foot in front of his glove. He knocked it down. Maddox gets it to the hole and puts Philadelphia on top again, 8-7.
Frank McCourty threw a sidearm fastball right down the center of the plate, and Maddox found it. He shot one into center field. Coming in hard was Poole. He tried to short hop it or grab it before it hit. No chance, and into second base is Maddox. And now stepping in is Larry Boa. Hard line drive to second, and that's all for Philadelphia. But they have broken the tie in the top of the 10th inning after 9.5. Philadelphia 8.
Pledge with love and show you care. United Way needs your fair share. 'Cause if you don't, then I'll be blue. Giving's not so hard to do. Remember when folks face despair, you can see that help is always there. When you think of all that they go through, giving's not so hard to do.
We went into the 10th inning, all even at 7. The Phillies, with 1 out, got a double from Unser and a 2-out single by Maddox. And right now, Philadelphia is on top 8-7. We go now to the bottom of the 10th inning. Gary Woods will start it off, followed by Terry Poole and Enos Cabell. And Jack Buck, you said that Dick Ruthven wanted to pitch this one. He's got the biggest inning of his life to go right now.
Yeah, and the Phillies ended up with quite a hurler out there, a 17-game winner. And all the Phillies need now is 3 outs here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Gary Woods is due to be the first man up. He is called back for a pinch hitter. And Danny Heap, a left-handed batter, is going to bat for Gary Woods.
Jack, this is a little known and seldom seen outfielder first baseman, but he hits the fastball pretty good, and he's got some punch.
Heap, a left-handed batter, will be the first up against Dick Ruthven. Heap is 5'11", 185, looks smaller than that. He's from San Antonio. The ball a little bit. H-double-E-P. Danny Heap makes his first appearance in the playoffs in the bottom of the 10th. Leading off with Philadelphia on top, 8-7. They had a double by Unser with 1 out and a 2-out double by Gary Maddox. And Dick Ruthven on the mound. Set the side down in order in the 9th, and ball 1 sinks low. Ruthven, a 17-game winner during the regular season. The Phillies 3 outs away from being the National League champions for 1980 and going against Kansas City in the World Series commencing Tuesday night. Here's another pitch. And it's a strike call. Heap was up there to take the strike before he swung the bat, and it's 1-1. It will be Heap, Poole, and Cabell. And if anybody gets on, Landeskog. The pitch is inside on the corner and a call, strike 2. Ruthven gets ahead. A remarkable series. It's a shame that someone is going to come out on the short end. Ruthven pitches. Danny Heap takes it outside. 2-2. Ruthven trying to retire his 4th man in a row. Knowles and Soche stay busy in the Philadelphia bullpen. Here's the windup, and the 2-2 pitch to the leadoff man. A swing and a high fly ball behind short. Boa backs out, wants it, and has it for the out. Greg Gross, the left fielder, stayed away. Boa caught it. 4 in a row set down by Ruthven. Houston down to their final 2 outs, and their best hitter, perhaps, along with Jose Cruz. Poole is at the plate, and he is 4 for 5, and he has scored 3 times. Terry Poole, a left-handed batter. 8-7. Philadelphia leads in the bottom of the 10th. Rose guards the line at first. Schmidt at third. The pitch. Poole swings, shoots it to center. Maddox going back. He's going to get it. He hauls it in. 2 out in dead center field. 2 men out. And now the Phillies are within 1 out of being the National League champions. And the batter is Enos Cabell. He is 1 for 4 on the day. Somehow you feel that Cabell has to get on and Landeskog has to get on in order to bring Cruz up to the plate for Houston to have a chance. Cabell has hit only 2 home runs this year. And now it looks like Philadelphia. They blew a 3-run lead that they had gained in the 8th inning. They've scored a run here in the 10th, and they lead 8-7. 2 out, bases empty. The pitch. Cabell swings and fouls at strike 1. Enos Cabell, a speedster, and Houston would like to get him on base. Houston has had men on base in every inning except the 9th and now the 10th, and they left 10 men on, Jerry.
That can be painful when you're getting into games like this, and you want that extra grab to get it going. You need those men to come across to make it work. Both teams have had tremendous opportunities to win it and have blown it, but now Philadelphia needs 1 out to put it away.
Ruthven used to be with the Phillies, went to Atlanta. The Phillies got him back. He is a much improved hurler and appears to be very calm in the face of things. 2 out in the bottom of the 10th. The base is empty. Strike 1 the count on Cabell. 8-7 Philadelphia leading. The pitch is a ball. 1-1. A remarkable, unreal final playoff game. These Houston people thought they were through the ringer in the Dodgers series. That was nothing compared to this. Next pitch from Ruthven to Cabell. High ball 2. 2-1. Ruthven in no hurry to end it. Tucks the glove under his arm and rubs up the baseball. Stands on again. Looks in and gets the sign from Bob Boone. Enos Cabell trying to get on. Here's the pitch. A half swing and he held up and it's ball 3. 3-1.
He'll never take a closer pitch than that. Plate umpire Ed Vargo was just about to ring up a strike, and that right hand was halfway out there before he pulled it back.
And Bob Boone, the Philadelphia catcher, had something to say about it. Well, what's Cabell going to do? Is he going to be aggressive and pumping, or is he going to try to get the walk and get on base? 3-1 the count. Phillies leading 8-7, bottom of the 10th, final game of the year for one of these teams. Here's the pitch from Ruthven. And ball 4 is low. No, now they say Cabell took a half swing, and the first base umpire called it, and that makes it a 3-2 count. So the season goes down to the final game, the final inning, and now down to the final strike. Well, Cabell argued the point, and some of the people on the Houston bench did too, and Jerry Crawford rung up the right hand on the appeal. And I would say Cabell had a pretty good swipe at it. He chased a bad ball. It would have been ball 4, and it's 3-2. Base is empty. Ruthven has retired 5 in a row. One more pitch would win it all for Philadelphia. A look in by the right-hander. Here's his pitch. Cabell swings and shoots it into right center. Maddox is going to get it. He does. And the Phillies have won the National League pennant. Dick Ruthven retired 6 in a row. Cabell hit it hard but out into right center. And the season has ended for the Houston Ball Club. And it will be Philadelphia against Kansas City in the World Series starting Tuesday night. A dramatic finish. They are out surrounding Gary Maddox. The entire Philadelphia Ball Club is just pummeling. I'll tell you, you can get hurt in a celebration like this. Philadelphia in the 4th extra inning ball game out of 5 in this National League Championship Series have knocked off the Houston Astros 8-7. The line score, Philadelphia 8 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors. Houston 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors. Philadelphia left 5 and Houston 10. The winning pitcher, Dick Ruthven, and the loser, Frank Licordi. So it's all over in the National League as the Philadelphia Phillies have come from behind a couple of times to take it all. Man, what a series. Dallas Green, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, is hugging Paul Owens, the general manager, and there's Ruly Carpenter down, the owner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Pandemonium reigns supreme down there on the field. We'll continue our wrap-up in just a moment.
This copyrighted recording is licensed by Major League Baseball. Any reproduction or other commercial use of this recording, in whole or in part, is prohibited.